In my last video of recreating all of the original 6 Five Nights at Freddy's games in Minecraft, I recreated Sister Location's custom night and made everything functional, including all of the animatronics, challenge modes, mechanics such as the oxygen and power meter, the camera, and every other mechanic in this recreation to make it feel alive. Now I'm going to do something that I've wanted to do for so long, and it's a massive project, and I'm so happy that I can finally get out to you guys. This project being Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. This changed the mechanics of the game completely from the others in the franchise, because there's 3 split up sections of the game, the first one being the Tycoon. And in the Tycoon, the player has to buy a bunch of different attractions and animatronics, which will make their pizzeria high status, giving them more bonus revenue and more money. And what this does is, the more higher value or more entertaining animatronic or attraction, the higher Faz rating you will get and the more money you will earn for the next day. This means the higher Faz rating you get, the more money you will most likely get the next day. There are also sponsorship offers which offer you money, and when they'll give you that money, but there's also a risk that in the office they'll play an ad and distract you from any other threats in the office. There are a bunch of other animatronics, such as the main 6 gang and new ones to the series. You can buy stages and place them on the stage to earn more Faz rating, but there's also risk. Then there's the office section. In this section, the player is placed in front of a terminal where they'll have to order things from the terminal in front of them or do any other tasks while trying to keep away from any other threats that are inside the office. Now, these have a few ways of entering in these, but the main one is salvaging them, and we'll get back to that later. But what you'll have to do is look left and right and use the other office resources to keep them away from you, because if they get into your office, you will know what will happen next. And these are Molten Freddy, Scrap Trap, Scrap Baby, and Lefty. Final section is the salvage section, where the player has an animatronic put in front of them and they have to salvage it or throw it back in the alley. You get revenue by salvaging it and more money, but this can also come with risk and more threats in the office. They have to do the maintenance checklist to complete the section and can use the controlled shock if the animatronic is getting too unstable and might harm the player. Now that we have everything we need to know, this means we can now hop into Minecraft and start working on this massive project. Here is the build for the shop. It's pretty normal. It has everything we need, a viewing window and a viewing area. Here are all of the catalogs right there, and there's the area, of course, where we will place the attraction. Now, you may have noticed these 3 buttons right here, and this is what we will be using for the arrows. This one will go for the previous item, this will select the item ahead, and then this will purchase the item selected. Over here is blueprint mode button, which will just teleport us over to the pizzeria where we can customize it as we like. Here are all of the catalogs, but before we get anything of this completed, we actually have to do the mini game at the beginning of the gameplay of Pizza Sim, so let's get working on that. Here is the build I have for the minigame, and it's pretty simple and basic, just like how it is in the game. We have the 2 sides, the blue walls and the checker pattern on the floor right here, which will separate the 2 sides from us and the children, the area where the pizzas will be, and over here will be where the main gameplay happens. Then we have this checker line right here, which indicates where the sides change. So the first thing I want to do is actually get started on making the children and every one where I throw a pizza at them. So let's see how I think that will work. So the perfect item to use for the pizza is a snowball, because not only can we throw it, it's also round. So as you can see, you have a scoreboard on the side of the screen called Snowball Child 1 Pizza Count. So as you can see, here is a command block right here, and inside this one, it detects when it matches 3. And it'll power these 2, which will make it round 2, and then it will reset the pizza count. And what this does, it detects when the snowball hits the armor stand. So as you can see, here is armor stand of a child right here, and if we hit it, we just have to aim it correctly there. It goes up to 1, goes up to 2, then it goes up to 3, and as you can see, it's reset and it goes on to round 2. So now we have to do that for every single child, and then just implicate multiple rounds, and then we actually have a working minigame. So let's make the rest of the children and the rounds. So here are the commands for the round, to detect which round it is. So as you can see, this is detecting if the certain scoreboard matches round 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending which one it was, depending which title command it will play. Now I've also added 2 more of these, which is the same as before, just for the other 2 children. It does the exact same thing just for the different children. And then here are the commands for round 1 for 3 children. It does the same thing once again, just 3 times the 3 different scoreboards. And I've also made it change so it plays a sound instead of titling it. And this is what detects when all 3 have been powered, and it will just reset them all, then add 1 to the scoreboard, which will change which round is playing. So as you can see, if I go over here and throw a snowball at it and throw it a couple times, there we go. As you can see, you hear the sound, which means it has been eaten. He's also been eaten. So if we go over here and throw the snowballs at him, and he's also got it completed. Now it says round 2 at the bottom of the screen, which is perfect. Now as you can see, it doesn't work because the scoreboard hasn't been changed yet. So let's make all of the other 2 rounds, and then we will finish off the minigame. So here are the commands for the next round. As you can see, here are the round 2 commands with the sign here, and as you can see, I've added 2 extra command blocks for the extra 2 children that I added in this round, exact same as the other commands, just for the added extra 2 children. There's a few more command blocks here that reset the scoreboards, so they reset it every time, and I've also added 2 more armor stands. This one, which is the Grey Freddy that stops the pizza, and the 2 extra children right here. So what we'll do afterwards is we're gonna have to add this grey bear, but now let's demonstrate over here. So as you can see, if I throw a snowball at him, he gets eaten. He also gets eaten after a short time. We just have to throw them all at him, and now it says round 2, and the other children have been teleported in. And now we can also make them eat the food as well, and now they can also be completed. And then we can go on to round 3 after that completed. And it's a very fun minigame, but also repetitive. So let's working on the Grey Freddy that blocks us and follows our moves. So as you can see here, I have now completed the Grey Freddy, or well, Dark Grey Freddy's commands, and also the round 3 commands. As you can see here, same as these commands, just with this guy added in. So as you can see, at the moment he's here, but when he's active, he won't be. So as you can see, it detects when we throw a snowball at him, exactly how the others work, and he will tell it and will say if Black Bear's full, which will change the scoreboard. Then it will make him stop, which will stop teleporting him to us, and then a timer will play, and until that timer finishes, it will only work then. So then if we go over here, and I'll show you how it works. So if we make the scoreboard round 3, as you can see, he's now teleported and only follows our certain coordinate, not our X or YZ, only Z. So as you can see, if he follows up and down this way, and as you can see, whoops, see, we have to fix that, which I will fix in a moment, but at the moment we can still give them items. So as you can see, if I walk left and right and throw a snowball at him, he will eventually stop if I get him to hit it there. Now you can see he stopped for a certain amount of time, which will give us the time to actually give the pizza to the other people. Then after a certain amount of time, he will start teleporting back to us. So as you can see, he is now teleported back to us. Now all we have to do is make the glitchy part, and then we finish this minigame successfully. But a key moment I've missed is I've also found a better player head for each of the children, as you can see here, and it's actually the ones from the game, so we actually now have a better player head, which is much better. Now we also have to make this work, which I've already done, and as you can see, these are all the commands that make the pizza restock, because you won't be in creative, which means you won't have infinite pizzas, and you'll have to restock on them. So that's where all the armor stand models will be teleported when you not need them. It will reset the timer and give you this, or well, the pizza, as we can see. And it will do all this, and as you can see, it's ready, but if we stand on top of this red concrete, that it will only give us the pizzas then. So if we stand on top of it, as you can see, we now have the pizzas in our inventory, and we just have to wait a while for them to restock. Obviously, we won't be in creative, so we won't have infinite like we do now, but if we go on survival, as you can see, we only have a limited amount of snowballs, and as you can see, they have reset, which means we can now grab these pizzas again, and the cycle goes on forever. And then we can just play this minigame and beat it, and then run out, and then after a short period of time, the pizzas will come back, allowing us to continue the minigame. I find this a really neat detail, and let's get on to the next part, which is round 4. Round 4 isn't really a match or round as so, and it's just a little glitchy part when we get to cut to a different area. So as you can see, here's round 4, and the only command is detect, and then it will play particle, and it will increase the score rapidly. And I've also created the score for it, so we also have a score. So as you can see here, look at this, everywhere we look, glitchy particles appear everywhere, allowing us to look glitchy. So as you can see, that is what we're going to use for glitchy, and the scores are also going to increase rapidly. What happens in the game next is we are teleported to a salvage room with Scrap Baby inside, where we'll have to do some audio prompts. So here's the model for Scrap Baby, and she has her pigtails and everything. So how this will work is, as you can see, if I hop out, as you can see, here's some extra commands. So as you can see, if we go in here, we have round 1, but if we reset the score to around this, and No, I think it will be, yeah, as you can see there, we'll be teleported inside here, and as you can see, some ambience will play, and this will teleport us inside the salvage room, where we can start the salvage cutscene. We'll have to click the blackstone button or the tape player to start it. So let's get working on that part. Now I've placed a lot of repeaters, but we have finally done the part. So as you can see, here's our scrap baby model, and you can hear all the repeaters that make the audio prompts work. This is not how it will work in the actual salvage, but it will just for the cutscene. So as you can see, it has a stop sound and document results for the text and all that. So here's the ending here, where it will just make us look at Scrap Baby when she looks up at us. But we're not going to go through the whole part of this. There's also a reset command where it will change the pose. So if we reset that pose and come over here and click this button, and we can just go back over here, we'll say document results. Then it will say begin audio prompt 3, 2, 1. She'll say it and then she'll look up at us. And then now we've done that, we just have to get the intro training tape for the Fazbear Entertainment employee. So here are all the repeaters and everything else to make up this intro cutscene. There's a lot more repeaters and a lot more command blocks than there was for the last cutscene, but this one's easier because instead of playing sounds and having to stop them, it's just teleporting the player into different boxes and using the tell roll command to put text in chat to represent the voice that plays during its cutscene. They're just lots of boxes with armor stands and visuals inside that we teleported into it. It's pretty simple, just teleport commands and some tell roll commands. So they're pretty simple, so now what we are going to do is we are finally going to come back over to our shop build over here and continue building all of the shop items, because we haven't actually done that, so we have to do it and do that. Alright, so here are all of the completed builds and armor standard models for the shop. As you can see here, we have every single catalog, including Smiles and Server Inc., Dumpster Diver Weekly, Rare Finds Auction, and all of them. Here's the balloon barrel here, and it ranges all the way from that to some of the more fancy ones and more nice ones in my opinion, like the pickle, which is a player head on top of a fence gate. The armor stands for the animatronics here, like Pan, Stan, and Pigpatch, Ned Bear, Mr. Hippo, and Happy Frog. We have Lefty over here with Music Man with lots of armor stands for his legs, L-Ship, and Funtime Chica. And we have a bunch of different ones, like Orville here, which I really like because of his positioning, and the way I make it so the armor stands teleport him is a repeating command block. Here's the massive Showtime stage for the rest, and now we just have to make them clone into this purple box here inside the shop. So let's go and do that. So as you can see here, I've created a scoreboard on the side of the screen called Shop Item, and this is how we're going to cycle between each different item. There's going to be a scoreboard on a certain number, and when we click these buttons, it will either go up and down, and depending what number it's on, depending which shop item it will land on. So what we'll have to do is make these buttons change the score, so it will move backwards if we would click this one, and it would move up a number if I would click that one. So what we have to do is we just have to set it up a simple command thing like this. So as you can see, there's a command detecting when we click that button, which will just activate the add 1 to the score, and if we make this go over here, as you can see, we have execute if score at P shop item matches 0 or less. So, and if that happens, it's going to make sure the score is set back to 1, because we do not want the score to be higher than 1. So let's grab a lever, and as you can see here, now it will be on 1, and if we try and make it go back any further to the negative numbers, it will not go that far back. So what we'll have to do is now just, as you can see, it can increase and decrease, but we just have to make the clone come in. So here is the circuit we are going to be using to clone in the items into the shop. So as you can see, there's a repeating command block, which is detecting if the number of shop item matches 1, and it will clear everything in the shop by cloning this massive empty space into the shop, and then it will actually clone the proper item into the shop. So here's catalog 1, and if we click that button up there, it will change the number to the first one. So as you can see, here is the paper powers, but if we were to click this, it will change back to the balloon barrel. So here's the balloon barrel, and it can change to the ball pit, the paper plates, the colourful paper plates, the single stage and the double stage, and all of the other stages, and it has the entirety of the first catalogue in it. As you can see, it will increase when we click this button, and it will continue to do that, and then it will start bringing in some of the armor stands like Mr. Hugs here and number 1 crate. So, and this will get more complex as we go on when we have more armor stands. So as you can see, the purchase button does not work at the moment, but you can also decrease it and change it. And if we were to click this, it would reset it so we could quickly come back to this, the first catalog, if you don't want to go through the whole catalog. And these buttons do not work at the moment because I have not made the catalog, but they will work in the same way this one does, and it will just reset the catalog. So as you can see here is the balloon barrel, and if we were to move it, as you can see, it does the exact same thing as it does before. Now if we were to click this one, it would go into the second catalog. As you can see, we have the speakers and Free Maze, Midnight Motorist, and all of the other items that are in the second catalog, like the stages, the novelty traffic light, there's Happy Frog there, and then if we'll go to here, it would be Mr. Hippo, Ned Bear, and then it would be Pig Patch after this, and once it's Pig Patch, it will eventually be Candy Cadet at the end, and as you can see, you cannot increase the score anymore, and it will stay. Now, here, as you can see, is the next catalog with the rest of them, like the stage, the ladder tower, the bull pit tower, carnival hoops here, and if we were to go here, we can actually reset it, and as you can see, if we click it, we can go to the beginning, and we can see this stage, the deluxe concert stage, all of them there, and then we have the balloon cart and rare finds auction with the fancy confetti tile floor, the deluxe bull pit, the disco pizza light, Egg Baby, who is pretty big, we have the more party set, the gravity vortex, Orville right here, who will teleport in with all of his armor stand, which I still really like the way he came out, Prize King, the security puppet, Lefty, and then after this should be Music Man, then El Chip, Funtime Chica, and then finally the Pickles, as you can see here, just the player head on top of the fence post. So as you can see, it's kind of increased the whole score, as you can see, and this redstone torch is how the armor stands come in. It will teleport the armor stand, but when it's not selected, the redstone torch will power it and teleport the armor stand back to where it should be. Now here are the shop statistics, which will be a scoreboard on the side of the screen, which will show what the price is, liability, risk, health and safety, and everything we need to know about the item. So these are just what put that into this one scoreboard on the side of the screen. As you can see, it says balloon barrel, and it shows us our price, bonus, revenue, entertainment, atmosphere, and everything we need to know. So if we decided that we want to see this, we have to look at the statistics and see what it is. Now at the moment it doesn't change with the item, but it will change with the item eventually, so you just have to repeat this process here for every single item, and then hook it up to the shop system like I've done with the balloon barrel. So as you can see, if I scoreboard players set, add AP cash, let's see, add 100 cash, as you can see, it now says on the side of the screen we have 100 cash, which we can now spend in the shop. So it's pretty simple and very easy, and also I can add myself as much cash and remove our cash, which makes it even easier for us to use the cash, because scoreboards are very easy detecting systems and they're fun to use. So here is for the other two items that I've made, being the balloon barrel, the discount bull pit, and the paper cups. So as you can see, everything here is the same, just repeated with a different scoreboard objective. Instead of it putting it on the balloon barrel, it's putting it on the other two. This also changes what scoreboards put on the side of the screen and the data. Now over here is how it detects if the shop is on a certain item like it does over here. But instead of cloning stuff into the shop, it will just put those commands over here, so it will just put the scoreboard on the side of the screen. As you can see, it's changed to the discount school bit, and all of the data has changed, such as the entertainment, the price, and all that. My cash does not change though, because my cash will not change depending which item I have, and it will always be the same. So I just have to repeat this process for the rest of the items. So here it is for every single item in the shop, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of command blocks involving this. So it's just the same process repeated over and over again with different numbers and text put inside it. As you can see, here's a balloon barrel, and it goes all the way from the balloon barrel all the way to the very far side over here where we have the pickles. Now the pickles are different because it adds an extra objectives, but we'll come back to that later. So as you can see, it's just the same thing over and over again. And as you can see, I've also added it for the list. So as you can see, instead of just being in the first three, we have every single catalog with every single statistic, so you can see what we're buying and what revenue, atmosphere, entertainment, and all that it gives you. So as you can see right now, we have the balloon barrel selected. But if I select the discount ball bit, it will change. Now it's paper cups and plate, but say I want the foil party set. As you can see, the scoreboard matches up to what is cloned in the shop. So as you can see, here's the Star Curtain stage, the Deluxe Concert stage, the Ball Pit Tower, and the rest of them, like the Balloon Cart, the Confetti Tile floor. Each of them get more expensive as they go on. The prices and everything is accurate to how they are in FNAF 6, so if to press this button, it would buy it, but we don't have the right amount of cash, so let's get working on the purchase system. So here it is right here. Here is our balloon barrel, and we have 100 cash, and the price is $30. So if we were to press this button, it would purchase the item for us. As you can see, bought item. As you can see, this is what I just have for the test at the moment for purchasing the item. So as you can see here, this is everything. It just says to purchase item for default. So as you can see, this is the command block that makes it work. It first detects if we press the buy button in the shop, then it detects if we do not have the balloon barrel, so we can't buy it twice, and then if our price matches over 30, because we don't want to buy the balloon barrel again, or buy it if we don't have the right amount of cash. So we just have to repeat this process and add a few more command blocks over for the rest of the items, which will be pretty simple. So here we have the rest of them. As you can see, I've added the rest of the chain to make it actually work. So as you can see, this is what resets it. So if I would like to purchase it again, I can just click that and it'll reset the scoreboard. So as you can see, it's the same command block from earlier. As you can see, it just detects if we have the balloon barrel or whatever item selected, and if we have much cash. Now this gives us a sheet of paper labeled the item of what we just bought, and it works for the same of every single item. Now this is cloning this unavailable sign up into the shop after we buy the item, so we know we've bought it and we don't try to buy it again. So as you can see, if we go over here and buy the item, the sign will be cloned up here and we can't buy it again. We get the sheet of paper, and if we try and buy it again, it won't let us. Not only do we not, because we've already bought it before. So now we can also do this, reset it, and we can buy it again. So this also resets our cash. So as you can see, it's the same thing. So it just does this over and over again. Now let's do for the rest of the items. So as you can see here, I've done the rest of the catalogs, so the purchase system is entirely functional and works. So as you can see here, same system over and over again. You've seen it earlier, pretty simple, and as you can see, it's still cloning this unavailable sign. With all of this, it will take away the right amount of cash, play a little sound, and say in chat that you have purchased the item. So if I go over here into the shop, and here is our balloon barrel, and if I click it, I have now purchased the balloon barrel, and now I have the sheet of paper, and it took away $30 from my bank account. So if I go back over here, as you can see, it just works in the exact same way, and it's very handy. So, and this one also all the way goes to the pickles. Now the pickles doesn't work at the moment because the pickles work different in game to how you buy them. So how you buy the pickles in the actual game is different how you buy the rest of the items, because it depends on two things. So as you can see here, I've set up a little thing for the pickles. So as you can see, it depends if we have $10 and if we have El Chip and Funtime Chica, because we require these items to actually buy the pickles. We also need Music Man so we get the Posh Pizzeria achievement so we can actually buy the pickles. So as you can see here, it's the same command, just double checking to see if you have the pickles. Then it will set a scoreboard making the pickles available. And once the pickles are available, this will detect when you have bought the pickles right here, as you can see, and then it will clone the pickles or the unavailable sign up into the shop. So as you can see, here's the unavailable sign. If I go back in, I have not. As you can see, the sign is still there because I've bought the pickles. Cannot buy it again, so it's pretty simple. So as you can see, if I try and select this item, and if I just give myself a lot of cash here, as you can see, I can buy Funtime Chica, and then buy this. So as you can see, now it is allowing me to buy the pickles, as you can see, because I have the required items. So now that we have everything we need to buy the pickles, you can actually buy the pickles, which is pretty simple. Now we have to go on to the unlocking each catalog, because you have to spend a certain amount of money to unlock each catalog. So as you can see on the side of the screen, I have a scoreboard labeled shop points. And as you can see, every single time you purchase an item, it will change our shop points. So as you can see, here are all of the catalogs, and these buttons will not be here, so we cannot access the actual items or catalogs. But the buttons will be removed or placed there depending if we unlock the catalog or not. See, that it will replace that there, and it will make us have access to the catalog. So what it's going to do is I'm going to see how it says right here we have all of the play sounds, and it takes away 30 cash. So instead I'm going to add a chain command block which will add 30 points to my shop points. So it knows I've spent 30 cash. So as you can see, if I add myself some shop points, let's say give ourselves, I don't know, 100 shop points, because that's how much you need to unlock the first catalog. This will detect it, and what it would do, it will unlock the next catalog and put the button there. And the next one you have to do is actually you need to set it to 100. So as you can see here, 1,000 makes us to unlock the second catalog. Then that amount of money 3,000 cash will unlock the third catalog. Now this just resets it, so it's very convenient for me just to set up and test out the shop points. So now I just have to add the chain command blocks and the actual set block commands so we can actually unlock each catalog. And as you can see here, that system is actually pretty simple, because all we have is just these 3 command blocks. So here's the shop point, and I've also added this, which will just set block all of the buttons in the shop to air, so I can reset it anytime. So the first thing it will do is it will play a sound and say in chat that I have unlocked a new catalog. And it will place the button in the corresponding area of which one I've unlocked. So as you can see, if I give myself a certain amount of cash so I can actually buy what we need to buy to unlock each catalog, let's buy something really expensive so I actually get what I need and quickly unlock each catalog. So the easiest thing is just to purchase this sanitation station. As you can see, it played a sound, it says new catalog unlocked in chat, and now we have the next catalog unlocked, which means we can do the same thing for the next 2. So if we go find something expensive and buy it, or well, just anything, and get some amount of shop points and buy it, that should around give us enough shop points in order for us to unlock the next catalog. So we'll buy that, we'll buy this, we will probably buy the next animatronic, and then I think we don't have too much long. We just have to buy a few more things. So we'll buy an Ed Bear, and as you can see, we have now unlocked the next catalog. As you can see, we'll just move these in our inventory so my inventory doesn't get full to the brim with sheets of paper. As you can see, here's my Star Curtain stage, and we'll buy this so we quickly get the amount of money. Buy this ball pitter tower as well, and as you can see, the signs are still there, just so we've unavailable. We can buy this, and as you can see, we've unlocked the final catalog, and now we have all of the catalogs available for us to buy. And the way this works is just so simple and convenient for me. So if I reset this all, reset my cash, and reset my shop points, if I go back up into the shop, as you can see, all of the buttons have disappeared and they are unlocked. It's also reset how much cash we spend, so we no longer have to do that again. So the next thing we need to work on is the Tycoon. So here are all of the stages for the pizzeria right here. As you can see, we have the first, second, and third stage pizzeria. The first one just being a basic wooden structure with 4 tables and 4 stops to place items. This one having 6 tables, 6 items, and has a cool checker pattern floor and walls. And then the final one being the biggest of them all, where it has lots of bigger areas to place the attractions in. As you can see, it also has a map art, which I've used multiple times in the series. So let's get started working on how we can place each of these items. So we'll click this button, and then would be a way to actually put the item in the certain spot that we would like to place it in. So right here is a system that I have. So as you can see, I have 2 books and 2 minecarts, one labeled attraction and one labeled animatronics, and they're same as the book in my inventory. So as you can see, if we go in here, we have attractions and animatronics. So as you can see, this is detecting if I'm not holding the book, and this is detecting if I am. Same for the animatronics. And if I'm not holding the book, it will teleport the minecart above this block and repeatedly do it so it doesn't go and rolling off anywhere else. And this will teleport it to my position. So as you can see, if I hold the book, we now can click on the minecart and we have access to everything inside of it. Same as if we did it for the animatronics. So if we go over here and purchase something like the balloon barrel, as you can see, we get the balloon barrel item. And what's going to happen is it's going to put this item in there, so I've purchased it and I can throw the item. So if I were to go back in here, now that we've purchased it, what would happen is when I purchase this, I would get the minecart, and when I'd throw that, it would clone the balloon barrel in this spot. So these are the commands that make that work. So it's not fairly complicated, it's fairly simple, and I'll go through it. As you can see, that's detecting if I have thrown this item, click the button, and all 3 has happened. So then it'll power this chain of command blocks. The first one setting a score that I've placed the balloon barrel. It will then clone in the balloon barrel into the shop, and if this detects that the balloon barrel is placed, it as you can see, when it detects if it's placed, it will actually get rid of it or activate on the side of the screen. As we can see, we have a scoreboard, and it will change our revenue and entertainment or any other thing that happens to be a part of the item. Now this will also set a different button in the pizzeria to remove it, and it detects if we press the button, which will set a block on top of this, which is how it detects if we press the button. And this is what detects if we get rid of it. So if we click the button inside there, it will remove everything, get rid of the balloon barrel, which will reset it, taking away and removing our revenue and entertainment, so we no longer get our revenue and entertainment or statistics, even though we haven't placed it. As you can see, to do that, it says item placed in chat. We have a little firework display, and we have our balloon barrel. And you can see on the side of the screen, 1 entertainment, 1 revenue. But if we were to click that button, it wouldn't only remove that, it would remove that. We can do this as many times as we want. So we have to do this is for every single item in every single spot of each pizzeria. So as you can see, this is going to get quite bigger. This system's going to get bigger very quickly. But before we work on any more of that, what we actually want is a way to get back into the shop. So as you can see, I've done the rest of the items for the first stage, or well, first catalog, and as you can see, all over here is the same thing for the automatic prop placements. So if we detect we've bought it, it will automatically clone those things into each pizzeria, which is very helpful, so we don't have to place them manually, just like how it works in FNAF 6. Now we also want a way to get back to the pizzeria. So here's this third minecart here, where there's an item, sponsorship offer, upgrade, and go to shop. The sponsorship offer and the upgrade pizzeria do not work at the moment, but say we're shopping and we have bought everything we want to buy, like the discount ball pit or the balloon barrel. So we buy it and buy everything we need, like this. So we're shopping, seeing what we need to buy. As you can see, if I were to buy something like the stage right here, it will give us the stage item. And as you can see, if we were to buy something as well, like the sanitation station or the discount ball pit, or maybe even the duck pond, as you can see here, and click this button, it will take us back into the pizzeria. So here is our pizzeria at the moment, and as you can see, our stage is now right here because we have purchased it. Now that we've done that, it's also done that for all of this stage of pizzeria. As you can see, this stage is in every single pizzeria. Now, if I were to go back down here, and if I wanted to buy something, as you can see, the duck pond is now in there. So if I were to place this and do this and throw the item, as you can see, it would place the duck pond in our pizzeria with the duck pond statistics. Now, and that's very, very helpful for everything we have doing. And we also can throw this item to bring us back to the shop if we would like to continue shopping. So we just have to do this for the rest of the pizzerias. So I've now completed the first stage pizzeria and everything you can place in it, including all of the automatic prop placement. So as you can see, we have 4 different separate platforms with command blocks on all of them, representing the 4 different outlines in the first stage pizzeria. And each of them have the commands that make up the prop placement. So as you can see, here's the first command block that detects if we have bought the paper cups, and it will clone the paper cups on the tables inside each pizzeria, so it looks like we have bought them. And I'll show that off here by going inside the first stage pizzeria. As you can see, there's an unavailable sign for me buying the first balloon barrel. So if I go here, and there's our first paper cups and colorful paper cups. So if we were to buy the first paper cups here and buy it like that, and go back over here, as you can see, they have now cloned onto the first stage pizzerias and the second and third tables to make it look like we've bought them. Now we can go back to the shop and also buy other things like the balloon barrel here. So since I've already bought it, I don't need to buy it again, but as you can see, if I click that, and I can throw the balloon barrel, as you can see, the balloon barrel is now placed in the pizzeria. And I can also do this on any single one of these outlines now. So I can do it in the first one, the second one, or I can do it in this one over here like this. It will all place in the exact same way, exactly how it works in Pizza Sim. And you can also place different items, but you can't place every single one in every single outline because each pizzeria has its restrictions. So that's now all we have to do is copy and paste this and redo it over and over again for every single stage pizzeria. But before we get onto that point, we actually need a way to upgrade our pizzeria. So as you can see on the side of my screen, I have a scoreboard labeled Pizzeria Floor Plan, and these 3 command blocks here. This one is detecting a few things. The first one being if I have $250 or more in my bank account. If I do, it'll run this, detecting if we have the first stage pizzeria. And if we have that, it will finally run this command, which detects if I throw an item in a minecart. and then it will refill that slot with a different one, so it knows we have upgraded our pizzeria and the cash has changed. It will upgrade our pizzeria, say we've upgraded it, and play a little sound to let us know, and for a bit more atmosphere. So as you can see, this works in the exact same way as in the other two, it just changes how much it's upgraded and how the price is. So as you can see, it works in the exact same way. And if I go over to the minecart to demonstrate this and throw the item, I don't have enough money on me, so nothing will happen. But if I give myself that right amount of money, as you can see in Upgrade Our Pizzeria, it's now changed the item to $1,000, and it says in chat with the little sound. And it also says on the side of the screen that I have the second stage pizzeria, and I don't have enough money again. So if I were to give myself the right amount of money, then we will have enough cash to actually buy the third grade pizzeria. Now that we've done that, as you can see, it's in chat, and there's a redstone block saying fully upgraded. And no matter how much money we give ourselves, that nothing will change when we throw this item. So now that we've done that, let's go, and I'll go show you. So as you can see here is this big tall tower, which is what teleports me into the pizzeria. Now I've added these 3 more chain command blocks, because instead of just teleporting me to the one pizzeria, or one set of coordinates, it's detecting what score I have. So if I have a score of 1, 2, or 3 of my pizzeria floor plan, depending where the command will teleport me, either in the first, second, or third stage pizzeria. So if I go in here and click this blueprint mode button here, I'll be teleported in the first stage pizzeria because I don't have anything else. And as you can see on the side of the screen, I have 0 cash on me. But if I give myself the right amount of cash, as you can see in Upgrade the Pizzeria, we are now teleported into the second stage pizzeria. So now if we go back to the shop, and as you can see, click the button over here, it will teleport us to the second stage pizzeria, not the first, because we have the second stage pizzeria unlocked. And if we do this again, we don't have enough money, and give ourselves the right amount of money, and we upgrade our pizzeria, like so, we will now have a fully upgraded item. We'll be in the third grade pizzeria, and if we go back to the shop, it'll finally teleport us, as you can see, can't throw that, and it'll finally teleport us to the third stage pizzeria, as you can see here. Which means now we can actually go on to the rest of the prop placements, which I'll go on to showing you now. Now, after about a week of working, I've completed all of the prop placements in every single stage pizzeria. And as you can see, the list gets longer and longer because there's more outlines for the props to be placed, and more props are allowed to be placed in those sections. So as you can see here, we only have 4 small prop placements here. So if I grab the attractions book, as you can see, we have all of these items. If I try something big like Prize King, it won't actually place because we don't have the right requirements, or something even bigger like the Gravity Vortex. But if I try something smaller, like the Moon Barrel, as you can see, it will work. And if I click that button, it'll get rid of it, and it will work. But if we upgrade our pizzeria, or show, as you can see on the side of the screen, it will actually also change our statistics. As you can see, I'll throw the Moon Barrel, and now we have 2 entertainment and 1 revenue. So if I get rid of the Duck Pond, and go into something like the second stage pizzeria, and click the button here like this, and throw something bigger, like Midnight Motorist, this will let me place that here, and we can also place more than 1, giving us more functionality to have more revenue, atmosphere, risk, and safety. As you can see, I also remove these 2 props and place as many as you want. And then finally, in the third stage pizzeria, we have more outlines, and they're the biggest of them all. As you can see, now I can throw something big, like the Egg Baby, as you can see here, or something bigger than that, like the Gravity Vortex, or Prize. So if I throw this, as you can see, it actually works this time, but this one is more expensive in the shop, but it is risky. And then we have the Security Puppet here, which is the only one that actually teleports an armor stand as a prop. So now that we've done that, we actually have to place the animatronics on each stage in each pizzeria. And only once then, that is when we have completed all of the prop placements we need to be placing at each pizzeria. So here is the system we have for that, and it's basically just a smaller version of the prop placement. As you can see here, they're pretty similar and basically the same thing. So the first thing that will happen is this command block detects if I press this button over here on the stage. And if it does, it will put a redstone block above the command block, and it'll power this strip. And as you can see, if we go in here, it will teleport Bucket Bob on top of the pizzeria. It will play a little firework, say in chat that we have done it. It will set a score and fill the area to air, so it no longer powers again if we throw it again. And then this detects if Bucket Bob is placed, and then we throw the item again, and it'll teleport it back. So I come back over here, as you can see, and click the button and throw someone like Bucket Bob. As you can see, they are now placed on the stage with the little fireworks display. And if I would want to remove them, instead of clicking a button, I'll just have to throw it again. As you can see, they are now removed off of the stage. So now all have to do is just do this for every single animatronic. As you see, these ones don't work. So we just have to do that for every single stage and every single pizzeria, for every single animatronic, and then we'll no longer have to do anything else such as placing animatronics or props in each pizzeria. Now that I've completed every single pizzeria after about another week of work, instead of showing the same thing over and over again in each pizzeria, I'm just going to show you the maximum in this pizzeria. So as you can see, if I were to click this button on top of each stage like this one, and then hold the animatronics book, and then select an animatronic like Bucket Bob as is so, he'll be teleported on the stage just like how he is on the first stage pizzeria on the first level stage. But unlike that, if I wanted to throw a heavy animatronic, something like Funtime Chica, that wouldn't work. But here, if I were to throw something heavy like Rockstar Freddy, he will actually be able to set on the stage. And I can actually set each one on, such as Rockstar Freddy, Rockstar Bonnie, Rockstar Chica, Rockstar Foxy, and then finally on the far end of the stage over here, the Star Curtain stage, and we'll click this button and we can set Lefty, and what would happen is we'd get the achievements for Rockstar Assemble. So what we have to do now is just add the achievements for each of the animatronic types so we get the amount of cash, and it's another thing completed in the pizzeria, and then we've almost done it. And now all we have to do is just throw them all to get rid of them out. So now here is the circuit I'm using for each pizzeria and achievement. So as you can see, we have 4 command blocks for the 4 different achievements. Now this detects if all of the animatronics for all achievements are set down at the same time, and then it will set a scoreboard over here where I can reset it, which this will detect, and then it will first title what achievement we got, how much money we got. It will then give us that cash and then play a sound to let us know. And this works for every single one. It just detects if they're all placed at once, and then it will set the score to 1. And this is also very helpful for how the pickles work. So I'll demonstrate it over here. As you can see, if I click this button and let's do the Rockstar Assemble. So if I were to place Rockstar Freddy here, Rockstar Bonnie afterwards next to him, Rockstar Chica, then Rockstar Foxy, and then if we have to have the Star Curtain stage to complete all achievements, because most animatronics, besides Posh Pizzeria, has this amount of characters. Then we'll to throw someone like Lefty, and then as you can see, it's play the sound, Rockstar's Assemble. It says we've got $20,000, and as you can see, it has given that amount of cash inside our bank account. And if we try to abuse the system by placing Lefty down again, it actually won't give us the thing again, because as you can see, the score is still set to 1, and that changes nothing because this isn't resetting the score unless I click this button, which will only happen if I reset a run of the pizzeria. So to reset the whole game to start a new run, which doesn't really matter, because if I started a new run, you would want the achievements to be able to get, only then will they give me the pizzeria achievements. So the next thing we need to do are the sponsorship offers. But before we can do that, we need to set up the day of the week score. So we have a scoreboard labeled weekday, and these command blocks detecting which number it is on. As you can see, if it's on 1, 2, 3, or 4. So if I increase it, as you can see on the side of the screen, each command block is changing to which one powers. And you can change this for each day of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I can also decrease this if I want, but I won't be using this in the actual map. I'll only be using it to show or to reset the map itself. As you can see, and we also have a boss bar, and as you can click a button, it is now visible. And as you can see, it's labeled Monday. And what this does is, depending which number the score is, depending what name it will be. So if I increase it, the name will change to Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday, and if we click it again, Friday, and lastly, if I could go back, and we can also go forward, and lastly, Saturday, which is where we want them all to be in one place. So now that we have that, we can actually detect what day of the week it is when we throw the item, which will be very helpful. Now what these are each of the advertisements or sponsorship offers, and how much money they give you. So as you can see, it would go in this slot here, and it doesn't at the moment. So first I just have to set that up. So as you can see, depending what day of the week it would depend which item would be put in the pizzeria minecart for sponsorship to accept, and each of these would detect that, and when it detects that, that means it would set them inside the minecart. So this is the sponsorship offers themselves. As you can see, I have another row of command blocks, same as before, but this detects if it's the weekday matches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and if we've thrown an item in the minecart. And if these two things happens, it will power the command block after it, which at the moment will just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to let me know what it is. At the moment it will just say 1, but if I increase the weekday score, as you can see, and I'll throw it again, this time it will say 2. As you can see, for each day of the week. So now we just have to make this clone and give us the items. So now we actually have the things to clone into each pizzeria, like the 2 banners, the little signs that are cloned onto each table, and this massive banner which is placed at the entry of the pizzeria. And here are the clone commands that clone them in each pizzeria. And also, not only that, it will also give us the right amount of cash depending which sponsorship we accepted. And they go higher and higher from $250 all the way to $5,000. And as you can see, I have $100, and if I accept the first sponsorship offer, it gives me $250 more in my bank account, and it says in chat that we have accepted the sponsorship. And also, as you can see here, it's also put the banners in the pizzeria itself, so we've known that we've accepted the sponsorship. And it works the same way for the other sponsorships, and if we were to reset them in each pizzeria, it will just get rid of them. Now these would clone in each and every one, which means there's only one thing left to do for the pizzeria segment, and that is the summary. Now the summary is what happens at the end of each day, when you have placed certain things in your pizzeria, an atmosphere which depends on how many visitors you get, and how much returning visitors, and all of that. And this is also how you can get lawsuits. And I've also made a scoreboard for this, so on the side of the screen, we have a summary scoreboard. Now this system used for the summary is Cuppa T EXE's design, because I have no other better way to actually make the summary work exactly how he made it, using it different. But over here, we have my own design for the hopper clock, which just makes the helpy dance inside the shop when he needs to dance. And as you can see, the redstone blocks are stopping that, so if I remove them, he'll just dance like that, as we can see. But as we can go in here, this is my own segment, where there's these chain command blocks, which is actually turning the different numbers. So as you can see, that will just fill over there to S to make sure helpy's dancing. Clear the player's inventory and teleport us inside the summary box here, so we are in there. And the first thing it will do, it will just do all of the command blocks over there, and I've just put them over here because that was for testing, and over here is actually where they are being powered. And this works for every single one until we get to this very end one here, where it will detect a certain thing. So as you can see, if it detects we have a certain lawsuit, it will set it 1, 2, 3, or 4. And this detects if we have 0 lawsuits, and if we have none, it will set a redstone block here, which will go on to putting the ending. But if we do here, it will put us into the lawsuit segment, detecting if we have one. And both of them, I haven't completed the lawsuit one yet, but this is what happened if I were to do no lawsuit. It would just play a little sound and teleport me back into the shop, and the lawsuits I'm not going to do until I do the endings, because it fits well with the bankruptcy ending. And now with that, I have completed the entire of the Tycoon section of FNAF 6, and the minigames I still plan to do, but I'm going to do them at the end of the video at a separate section where I know what places I have to place them. You can also notice that I've added this section over here, which just makes this helpy in the shop dance. As you can see, he has 5 unique different dances straight from Pizza Sim. This is the second one, and then he has one where he's thinking, where he goes back and forth and jumps up and down. This is the one where he bobs his head back and forth, and then he'll start thinking of deciding what you should buy. And then after a short period of time after this, he will jump up and down before starting the segment again, where a redstone block will be placed here. Now this finishes the Tycoon segment at just around 9,000 command blocks. So let's move on to the office. For the office, and all it is 14 different square boxes, which are represent each vent. There are 6 on both sides, and then 2 in the middle, 1 on the top, and 1 on the bottom. The one on the bottom is the office, and I've used Tough to recreate the vent look. So as you can see, here is our 2 vents on either side of us. The terminal in the center of our office, our little paper decorations and cup, and then Helpy on top of the desk. So now that we have Helpy there, let's start working on some functionality. The first functionality I want to do is looking at each vent. When you look at each vent, it will give you a slowness effect. So the way I'll do this is with this system right here. So as you can see, we have a few command blocks. This is detecting if I have an armor stand with the name vent look on my screen. And if I do, it will power this, which will give me slowness, and the redstone torch will power, if I'm not looking at it, clearing the slowness. So I've teleported myself in the office, and as you can see, if I look to this side, there is an armor stand in my view. Same as this side, and they both have the name Vent Look. So if I turn this on and demonstrate it for you, as you can see here, it's giving me a slowness effect in my view. So if I look at it, and as you can see, the armor stand is in my view, so I get the slowness effect. I look away, I don't get it, and then I look at this armor stand, I also still get it. But we can also take this even more seriously with these two here. They may have the same name, but they both have a different tag. One tag being left and the other being right for the left and right vent. So if I turn these command blocks on, it will detect which side of vent I'm looking at. So this is really helpful so we know which animatronic I want to deal with. So if there's one on the left, as you can see, this armor stand says in chat left, and the right one, I'm looking right, and then this is right in chat. And I can do this all I want, and it's really helpful because then I can detect easier which way I'm looking instead of just looking at one named Vent Look. I'm looking at left or right armor stands. So let's actually make the animatronics themselves. So here is all of the positions that any of the animatronics could go to in the ventilation system. The yellow concrete just being any ordinary other vent, and they are the most popular ones, with most of every single location being the vent. And then there's this red concrete, which means they're in the vent about to attack and jump scare you. And in the middle here, we have some armor stand models for Molten Freddy, here Scrap Trap, Scrap Baby, and Lefty. Now these are the jump scare models for each of the characters, and here are the ones that will go throughout the vent system, and they don't need to be very detailed because you're not going to be able to see them, so what's the point of making something detailed if it's not seen? They each have their heads, so I know which one is what, which makes it more easier to identify them. So now I have to make it so they can teleport each through the vent system. But let's start off with Molten Freddy. So here is what we have so far, a scoreboard called Molten Freddy Move, or Molten Freddy Vent Move. And what this means is this is the countdown that's going to take to make Molten Freddy move. So as you can see, this command block detects if the score is 170 or less, and if that powers, it will remove one digit from that number, and this detects if it makes 0. It'll reset it, then it will teleport to Molten Freddy to one of these random armor stands in each of the vents. And there's one in every single one of these vents with the tag Vent Move, so you can move them. So as you can see, I have the scoreboard number 171, and nothing will happen, but if I change the score for the Molten Freddy's Vent Move to 170, it will start powering, and the time will go down. And then Molten Freddy will eventually randomly teleport to one of the armor stands within the surrounding vent system. So if we wait for this the cooldown to count down, as you can see, he has moved, and he's moved over into this one. And we also have ourselves a randomizer as well, which is very helpful because now we have a randomizer and a way for Molten Freddy to move around. So this is where he's moved, and now we have a way for them to move around. Now I just need to detect when they move around, so we can actually make sure if we detect if they go into either of the red concrete sides of the office, so we know where they're going to be. I made up the rest of the system here, as you can see, and this is how every animatronic is going to work. So I'll go you through a few brief things. So these are the first thing you've already seen, and now this is what detects if Molten Freddy is either in the red concrete section in either the left vent here or the right vent in the other one. So this detects if he's either in one of these positions, and if he is, it will run these chains of command blocks right here. And what that does is actually, first thing it will do is it will set a redstone block next to a sound effect, so a sound effect will play, and this will play at either side of the vent where Molten Freddy is. Then it will set the comparator to air, remove that tag to Vent Move, and add it to attack. It will then make his jump scare now count down, and he's now in the left or right vent depending which vent he's at. Then if we look at the vent when he's in the right vent, it will count up, which is how we get rid of him. But if we don't count up, the jump scare will play out, and this detects if the score matches 0, and then it will play this. It will teleport us into the office, and then it will clear our inventory, and then it will teleport Molten Freddy in front of us, and then it will put us in this black box over here saying game over. Now these two are what resets Molten Freddy if we do catch him in time for the left and right vent. So as you can see, there's no comparator here because he has now left. But if I were to put a redstone block here, you won't be able to hear anything because you're not close enough to Molten Freddy to hear it. So you'll only be able to hear it very quietly if you're close enough to this armor stand. And if the armor stand is further away, you won't be able to hear it, which is why the fan is very important to be turned off in Pizza Sim so you can actually hear things. Now that is what teleports the animatronic back on top of that block. So now that we have all of this system, this is what teleports Molten Freddy into this vent. So what I'm going to do is show you off the jump scare, or how we counter the jump scare. So as you can see, if I grab this comparator and set it like that, and then also change the scoreboard to 170, it would then start making him move. So as you can see, and then he'll either move into the left vent, the right vent, or he'll go into that one like he just did there. So we have to wait for him to go into that one. We'll hear the sound cue. As you can see, he's still not wanted to come. And as you can see, there's the sound effect. He's in the vent. We look at him. We won't want to jump downstairs, so if we keep looking at him, eventually he will leave, and once he is left, he is now over here to restart a cycle. Now that we have completed all of the animatronics in the vent system, let's start working on things like the ventilation fan, which is what keeps the office cool with its temperature, and if it's turned on, it's loud, which disrupts noise and makes the animatronics move faster towards the office. The next thing I'm going to do is show you how the office fan will work. So as you can see, this is the setup I have for the office fan. And at the moment, it's just a couple command blocks, and we'll add more later. So the first one of these two, which detects when you throw an item labeled fan off or fan on, depending which one you want to throw, depending if it will turn the one off or off. First, it will set a scoreboard off, which will power this one, and it will toggle between the two depending which item you throw. And those items will be these in the chest: fan on, fan off. If you throw the fan on item, it will turn the fan off, and vice versa. Now these detect if it's on or off, and if it's on, it will play this sound here, and if it's off, it will play that one. So as you can see, it's played the sound, and if I were to throw this item, it would play the off sound and give me the fan off item. So now if we were to throw it again, it will turn it back on, and now we have a quick toggle for the fan. So now we actually need to make it functional and add the temperature to it. So as you can see on the side of the screen, I have a scoreboard labeled temperature, which is at 60, which is the default for the FNAF 6 temperature. And I've also added these two chain command blocks on top of these play sound command blocks to detect when the sound is on. And when it is, it will activate these two hopper clocks. One is depending if the fan's on or off. If the fan is on, this will be playing and cycling through this, which as long as the score is 60 or higher, it will remove one digit from the temperature, cooling the office down. And the same says for the other side. I've just made it so it's easier for you guys to see. And the same for this side, but except it's detecting if it's 120 or lower, and if that happens, it will add one digit to the temperature. As you can see, if I turn it on, the redstone blocks will be removed, and if I do that, the other ones will be removed and replaced, to making the thing go up and down. So now all we need to do is make it so when the fan is on, all the animatronics move towards the office faster. So here is this repeating command block and a comparator powering some other command blocks. And in this one, it detects if the fan is on and if the night is on. If both those happen, it will remove one digit from each of the scoreboards that make the animatronics move throughout the vent system. But at the beginning of this, it detects if you have salvaged or purchased the animatronic first, because we don't want the animatronics that you have not had purchased or salvaged yet in the vent system with you. So now we're going to work on the rest of the fan. And as you can see, I've now added a scoreboard on the side of the screen labeled office, with the temperature added to that so you can also see your cache. If I remove that and go into the office and turn off my fan, as you can see, the temperature starts rapidly, increasing up the temperature. Now, to conquer this, all we have to do is turn the fan back on, but it's hard to hear the animatronics that are in the vent. But if we wait for it to reach 100 degrees, as you can see, it will start flashing red and white to indicating that it's in a dangerous level, but the second it gets down under 100, it will turn back to normal. And the way this works is this hopper clock here, where it detects if the score is over 100, and if it is, it will flash back and forth, joining its red and white team. And then if it's under that, it will just constantly be put back into a white team, so the name will constantly be white. So as you can see, if I keep throwing that and do that again, and place these redstone blocks there like that. So now the next thing we're going to do is work on the office resources. So as you can see, here are the same chess minecarts that we had over at the Tycoon segment of the game. As we can see, we have one labeled Task, Equipment, and Vent. And these are the ones that we're going to do. But since we're still working on Office Resources, we're going to do the one in Vent. Motion Detector, which can make you detect when you see what's in the vent. Audio Law, where you can place a law to distract an animatronic. Or Silent Ventilation, which is a fan that plays silent noises but isn't as effective. Each of these have their downsides, so there is only being one able to be powered at once. So the first thing we're going to do is work on the motion detector, because we're going to be doing this in order. So here's the room, which is a small map of the ventilation system. And what we want is one of these blocks to be replaced with a different block to indicate that an animatronic is in that room. And the way I've done this is, as you can see with this circuit right here, is it detects if there's an animatronic in that certain room, and when it does, a redstone block will be set here, and these will detect it. So this will detect if the animatronic, which a tag animatronic, is in the vent. And all of the placeholder armor stands have the tag animatronic of them, which means all of them can be detected at once. And then it will replace that with a redstone block, and then flicker it and turn it back to a blue concrete block for a flicker effect. It will then set the comparator to air, and then place a redstone block here so it isn't constantly flickering. So as you can see, if we go in here, as you can see, at least one will flicker. As you can see, those are the positions of each of the armor stands in the vents, and it's very helpful to identify the locations of them when putting in Audio Law, which is what we'll be working on next. So here's the Audio Law room. As you can see, it's the same as before, but this time there's a button on each of the rooms. So as you can see, if we were to press this button, it would make an animatronic get teleported into this room right here, so that they would be lured in there. Now, if you were to change it, it would just change depending on which button you would press. So here is an armor stand that has the tag Law, or short for Audio Law, and this is what we're going to be teleporting around the vent system to each corresponding room. So the way this has worked, I've set up one at the moment. So as you can see, here is our armor stand, and in here is a command. So as you can see, it executes at the position of the Law, and if there's an animatronic 13 blocks or less in it, it will teleport that animatronic to the armor stand, which makes a very efficient Law. So if, as you can see, I've set up one room at the moment, and all of these armor stands here have the tag animatronic. So that is where our animatronic is. And if we were to activate this command block, which now teleports them, and as you can see, that was when you press the button inside the map, and if you press it, and as you can see, Molten Freddy will eventually get teleported inside this box. So as you can see, as we wait, there we go, Molten Freddy is now teleported inside this room and is unable to leave it until we move the Law to another position. So this is how the Audio Law is going to work. So we just have to set it up for every other room. And now I've done that, and as you can see, there's an animatronic there. And if we were to use the Audio Law to change its position, so if we go down here and go in here and click the button here, and as you can see, there's a blue ring appears around it, including its radius, and now we click that button. If we go back up to the Audio Law room, as you can see, the animatronic is now in this position because this is where the Law is. Now the last of the three office resources is the Silent Ventilation, which is just a very not as efficient fan, but plays no noise, which makes it easier to hear. So what it's going to do, if it detects that if we throw the item, it will just, like these two here, if it will detect that, it will actually replace that to air, which will make it so not all can activate. So if I grab this right here and have our book vent, and if we were to throw back to the office, we are now in the office. And if we were to throw the audio, as you can see, and use this here, as you can see, there's now an item labeled active above it. If I go back, that is still active. But if I were to activate something else, such as the motion detector, as you can see like that, it will change its position. And if we go back to the Audio Law room, our Law has now been destroyed and is no longer there and is teleported back down here, and which is very helpful to make only one active at the same time. Same as the Silent Ventilation. When you throw that, it will make this hopper clock, which will slowly remove the temperature instead of do it fast as it does before. And now, as you can see, I've done that, and now it stops working. The next major part of the FNAF 6 gameplay is the task that you have to do to complete the night instead of there being a certain time. So here are all of them. Order 3 segments: order supplies, advertisement, and vent maintenance. So you can see we have order cups, order plates, utensils, and pizza kits. We print flyers, posters, and menus, unclog the toilets, replace the bulbs, and clean the ovens. So now we just have to make them functional. So now I've done the first 5 tasks, as you can see here, and here are all the command blocks that make up that work. As you can see, we also have a scoreboard labeled task progress. So in here, it detects when we throw the corresponding item in this minecart here, which will power this chain of commands here, will set the score to 1, reset the timer, and then replace the item with this item of an in-progress item. It will then place a comparator here so it can start the countdown and play a sound to let you know the task is activated. This detects when it has stopped and it will refill the timer, set that block to air so the countdown no longer keeps going. It will replace that with air, then it will set the block over here so you can't do the task again to air, and then it will reset the task, and then after that it will play a sound to let you know it's done as well. Now this is the last segment of each task. It detects if I have thrown another item and started another item, which will power this, which will refill the task and make it start again, and you'll have to store it again. Another way to get this to work is if you leave the office by using one of the office resources. So to show you, I'll go into the office over here and show you how it works. So if I were to go over here and give myself the vent item so I can move around and use the office resources, and I were to hold the tasks item, and if I were to throw this item here or throw another one, this one would stop and the next one would start. And the another way, as you can see, if wait for it to be completed, once it's completed you can look inside to side to stop the animatronics, and as you can see you can't do it again because the item is no longer there. But if you were to do it again and go out of the office, such as using the motion detector or the audio law, and if we were to go back inside the office and check our task, as you can see it has stopped refilling itself because there's no need for that to happen when you're not at the terminal using the tasks. So the next thing we need to do is the office upgrades, which helps the player during the run. So here are the items that we are using inside these chests. So here's the equipment book, and if I hold it, we have these items inside the chest. The time 2 speeder for $500, the hide speed uplink for $500, and the hide handyman for $900. And if you were to work all of these are the items in here using the chest. So let's go make it functional. So this is how the high-speed uplink will work. So as you can see, we have a few command blocks here. The first most noticeable one being this hopper clock. So if I go over here and enter this thing, it detects when we have enough cash of $500 or more, and if we throw the appropriate item in the minecart. And if we do, it will set a scoreboard to that we have the high-speed uplink. This will detect if we have the high-speed uplink and a task has started, which will make the task from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. So then this will remove one faster, making it faster to remove each task. Now these detect if the task has stopped, which will fill a redstone block so the timer no longer goes down. And then we have here, I've added an extra chain command block, which will take away $500 that you've used to purchase this. And then once it does that, it will replace the high-speed uplink item with a purchased or upgrade purchased item, so it knows that you have bought it and you can't accidentally buy it again. So the next thing to do is to finish off the tasks. Now the next thing that we have to finish off is the sounds that the task plays when they are being done. So this happens if we do not have the ×2 printer and it detects we don't, it will play the sound at its normal pace. But if it detects we do have the ×2 printer, it will play the same sound but quieter, which will do the hopper clock back and forth. Now we need to do the advertisements that play when you look at the terminal for too long. So this detects when you're looking at the terminal, and if it does, it will remove one from a timer, and if you're not, it will add one. Because when we look away, we don't want the timer to still go down, we want it to go back up so you can refill the timer. Now what detects what ad you get is depending if you have accepted the sponsorship, and if you have, it will do a 1 out of 4 chance depending which advertisement will play. They can only play if you have the certain advertisement. So now we have completed the advertisements. For all 4 different outputs, we'll play a different ad depending. And it will power this strip, and after a certain amount of time, it will give you an ad unskippable, which means this will detect it, which will detect when you don't have the item labeled skip. And then when you throw that, it will reset everything so the ads can be played again and give you all of the books back so you can replay the actual map and go on with your tasks. So if I activate this and go up into the office, as you can see here, I'm looking away from the terminal, which means the task is nothing's happening. But if I look at the terminal, the task stops going down, but if I look away, it starts going back up again. This is so you don't always get a task, and works exactly how it does in Pizza Sim, so you don't stare at the monitor too long and have to look side to side so you don't actually get an ad. But if we wait for this to go down until it completely completely depletes, we'll get an ad. And at the moment, I only have one ad active, being the Fizz Time Soda Pop ad. So it will be an orange glass plane replacing this blue one. So let's wait for it to finish, and then an ad should play. It then starts playing a massive sound, and we have to wait a little while before we get the skip ad, and it'll stop the sound, and then the timer will continue going on. Now we can look side to side to refill this timer, or we can just let the timer continue to go up and get another ad. Now in the FNAF 6 itself, you can't do your task by looking at the vent. You have to be looking at the terminal. So at the moment, if I were to do my task by looking at the terminal and look away, I can still do my task, which is inabusive for the advertisement system. So now I have used the same command blocks I've used to detect if you're looking left and right, but if I try and do my task and continue to hold the item, when I look this side, it will remove that item from my inventory, so I can no longer use any of the computer, so I can't abuse the system. So as you can see, when I look away, it gets rid of my items, and when I look back at the terminal, it will give them back to me. So the final thing we need to do is have the option to turn the computer on and off, which will stop the advertisement from working because your computer is off. So as you can see, as I look side to side, the glass plane is removed and I get my books back. So if I was to go down here and see how it works, it's just these items over here which detects when the computer is turned on, and it'll give me those items back, and if it isn't, it won't. So as you can see, if I were to go over here, it works exactly the same as the fan toggle. And with that, that brings us to the end of the office segment of FNAF 6, and we can move on to the salvage segment. This brings us up to just over 10,000 command blocks. So here is the salvage room. It is the same one I used for the beginning cutscene with Scrap Baby, it's just with Scrap Baby removed. And I've just copied and pasted it over here. And it still has the same texture with the bricks, granite, and polished granite. So now we actually have to start making it functional. So here are the models that are going to be teleported into the room for each salvage. Here, Molten Freddy, Scrap Trap, right here, Scrap Baby, and then Lefty. These are different models used from in the office because they need to have their different tags and unique poses. I have also made it so these armor stands infinitely teleport to the other armor stand, so that it doesn't have to be multiple teleport commands. Now here are the commands that teleport into each animatronic. So here it detects if the weekday matches 1 or Monday, and if it does, it will teleport the corresponding animatronic into the room. So if it's Tuesday, it'll teleport Scrap Trap, and it'll go so on like that. So then I don't have to do it, and it will just do it automatically. And they each have different ones. So it detects if I have Lefty though for Lefty, because if Lefty is purchased before in the shop before Friday, Lefty won't appear in the room and you can't salvage Lefty. So as you can see, if I increase the score, Molten Freddy gets teleported into the room behind the desk. If I do it again, he gets teleported back and is replaced with Scrap Trap. If I do it again, it will replace Scrap Trap with Scrap Baby. And lastly, if I were to add the score one more time and make it Friday, it would put Lefty in the room. So the first thing we need to do is the choice to detect if you want to salvage the animatronic or not. And this will set this, and if you don't, it will set the score to 0, teleport you inside the black box, and clear your inventory. For a short delay, it will set a redstone block over at the summary section and increase the weekday score, and then it will just continue on to the next day. If you decide to salvage the animatronic, however, though, there's a different system required. So it will still set the score to 0 and clear your inventory, but this time it will give you this book. And this book is what is going to change the animatronic's position. And the way we're going to do that is with this scoreboard right here called MF, stands for Molten Freddy Salvage Position. So as you can see, this command block is detecting it that it goes 1, 2, 3, or 4 or higher. And these command blocks over here are what detecting. In this command book here, depending on what box I click, depending what thing will happen. So if I click it, it will run a random number from 1 to 4. And since there's a higher chance of him not only to move once, there's 2 command blocks powering this one strip of to move Molten Freddy up 1 position. But if it matches a 3, it will make his 2 positions, and if it matches a 4, he won't move at all. So then we have every single one of his positions. And then these command blocks detect that, and then it will change the pose for the animatronic to let you know that the animatronic has moved. And then over at this one, it's different. because this detects if you have the jump scare. So we just have that jump scare there for now, because we don't actually have a proper one, so it's just going to say boo. So as you can see, there's our animatronic. I click on one of these boxes. As you can see, he's moved 2 up, moved close to me. Now, as you can see, if I were to do this again and click a button, he's going to kill me, as you can see, like that. So now you just have to set this up with a proper jump scare and the rest of the salvage segment, like the taser. Because at the moment, we have no way to putting the animatronic to the original position without going back down there and pressing the button manually. So here's the taser system we have going on here. So as you can see inside this chest, we have the taser item, which is going to be given to the player, and it detects if this salvage is turned on. If the salvage is turned on, it will also detect if the player has thrown the item from their inventory. It will then reset Molten Freddy's salvage position before giving you the taser item back, and then once that powers, it will also put Molten Freddy back into the center of the room in case he's moved forward like he's on his last stage. And this makes the light flicker in the room to make it look like the animatronic has been tased. Now this will set a block over there to air to stopping the jump scare, and this detects if you have used the taser more than 3 times, and if you do, it will remove 50 cash from your salvage value. So as you can see, we have a choice, and we throw that, will give you the taser in the book, and as you can see in chat, it just started that, and if I were to click a button and click that, as you can see, he's moved into his last position, so we throw it and it'll reset his position, and if I were to do it again, it keeps working, and as you can see, he's gone to the same thing again. And if I use this more than 3 times, the salvage value will start to go down. So as you can see, if it just goes down 50 until it reaches 0. So here is what we have for the audio prompts, and this is the whole design for the salvage. So as you can see here, a redstone block will be set here at the beginning of the salvage. It will play an audio line, and then after a short bit of time, it will then detect if the salvage audio count is in 0 to 3. And if it's in 0 to 3, it will play the first tape, but if it is more than that, it will take the second tape. I'll set a redstone block to there. And this is if you're in the first 3 prompts. And this will detect if that block is redstone block, which will play that sound, which will remove 1 from the timer. And then this detects if the timer reaches 0, and it will then reset all of the salvage tape values so you can use it again later, before after a short period of time, adding 1 to the salvage count and setting a redstone block here, where it will tell you to document your results. Now, and over here it works in the exact same way, but it will play a different sound, and it's detecting for if a redstone block is placed here, and then after all of them has been completed, it will set a redstone block over here, which will end the salvage and let the player continue onto their week. So first it will reset everything. Let's say that you've ended the tape, clear the player's inventory, then after a short period of time, it will set a redstone block over in the summary, and set the redstone block over there, set a redstone block here, which will play all the same commands, but this time you actually have the cash from the salvage. So now that we have all of the animatronic salvage completed, as you can see here, it uses the same system, but we needed a different book for each time because it's using a different scoreboard for each animatronic. So now we actually have to do the salvage day. So over here at the end of the office segment, when it detects that you have thrown a log off item, this is when it will teleport you to the salvage. But it won't always do that because sometimes there are some things in between. So it detects if the weekday matches 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it depends if any of those, it will set a redstone block over at the salvage thing to start the salvage. But if it matches 5 or more, it will just set a redstone block over at the summary because there are no salvages to do. But on night 1, it doesn't take you straight to the salvage room because there's a little cutscene that will play, and it will say that there is a party being thrown on Saturday, and you should set that as your ultimate goal. So as you can see, here is the visual that will play with that cutscene, and here are the voice lines that play during that. And when it hits the end of here, when all of these voice lines play, it will set a redstone block and it will normally play the salvage. But the way we work is to detect if the weekday matches 1, we'll set a redstone block over there, and if it's any day besides 1, it will remind you that you don't forget about Saturday, because that is when you want them all to be in one place, which is referring to all of the salvage, which is the way to get the completion ending by salvaging all 4 animatronics. And I'll set a redstone block over there in the summary if the day isn't actually the right day for a salvage, or if Lefty has already been salvaged. So now let's start working on the endings now that we have everything we need to get them done. Now since the completion ending is the easiest in the main ending of the game, that's the one we're going to be working on. So here are all of the voice lines that play during the ending. So now we just have to make the visuals that go on top of the voice lines to complete the first ending and add a bit more detail. So here are the visuals for the ending. So as you can see, we have the flashing monitor, we have the rest of the mini games from past FNAF games, and we have the few hallways. So the first thing that we have to do is this monitor with a flashing light, as you can see here, and that is just using a hopper clock, which is where an item is flying back and forth, and it's setting that redstone block, or setting it to a light concrete block, or a light blue concrete block. Now over here we have the FNAF 1 hallway, the Kids Cove from FNAF 2, and over here we have one of the mini games that we have yet to make yet, but we will make after the endings are complete. The mini game from FNAF 2, the ending of the Security Pup mini game, and the Give Life mini game from FNAF 2. Now all we have to do now is just add some more detail and get everything in order. What I mean by that, I mean let's add some particles. So here we have some particles, like a flame particle here that will play in some of the boxes and the other boxes, and a dust one to make it seem like the place is burning down. So now to complete the completion ending, I have now added the final cutscene where Hand Unit tells the player that they no need to return to next week because Fazbear Entertainment is no longer a corporate entity, and we have these few little boxes here before the player is awarded the certificate of completion for the beating the hardest or main difficulty and getting the main ending of the game. Now here are all of the voice lines that play throughout the sequence and that teleport you inside each one of these different boxes. Now we have to do the way to get this. So the way to get this is these two command blocks here. So this one detects if you get the completion ending, it detects if you have salvage or for animatronics with a scoreboard, and over here I've put a command block which every time you complete a salvage it will add 1 to the score, and if this detects you have done all 4 it will power, and after a short delay it will set a redstone block over here starting the completion ending. But if you salvage 3 or less, which is not 4, which it will set a redstone block here which will teleport you inside this copy of the salvage room where you have to look at this desk with a piece of paper on the floor where Henry says you are fired for not completing your special obligations. So now we have to do the insanity ending, and the way we get that is pretty simple, and it's in this command block here. So first it detects if the weekday matches 6, and if that happens, and if there's the egg baby has been placed in the restaurant, and there's an ending available, which is a scoreboard I added so it detects when an ending is available, the night shift is active and the computer is off, it will power this strip here, which will start the insanity ending. It will first set a redstone block at the office section so you can't get jump scared during the sequence, teleport you facing the monitor, and clear the player's inventory so they can't use any of the office resources. I've now made the visuals to go along with this ending as well as the voice lines. So Henry will start up another speech, but this time about he didn't do something enough and how it keeps him awake at night, and then Hand Unit will then tell you off for going somewhere you're not supposed to see and listening to something. You'll then obviously be fired before awarded the certificate of insanity. Now to get the mediocrity ending is pretty simple, and it's probably the most boring endings of the game. So first it detects if you've bought nothing in the shop, so you haven't spent any cash, and you've salvaged 0 animatronics. And if you've done all of that, it will power the command strip, which I've yet to make. So let's go and make the visuals and the voice lines for it. So here are the visuals and the voice lines, and there's not many visuals as there is to the first cutscene because it's more of an ending than an intro. And Hand Unit makes fun of the player for being so lazy before being awarded the certificate of mediocrity. So here are all of the visuals and voice lines for the blacklisted ending, where Hand Unit will tell the player they're too risky and a liability hazard even for Fazbear Entertainment, before saying they'll wipe you from the files and then blacklisting you so you can't find a job in your town ever again. Now to get the bankruptancy ending, I said I would make the lawsuits for it, but I don't actually have a good way to make them, so I've just used the same design Cup of Tea EXE used for his FNAF 6 recreation video, and I'll have that linked in the description if you want to check it out, and I'd highly recommend you do, because it's the whole inspiration for this video. But I do know how the helpy over here works, where he's in this little dark black room with him knocking his head, thinking depending what to do with the lawsuits, and this just uses a hover clock with an item funneling back and forth, which will change the position or pose of the data armor stand, which will make it work. And the way to get this to happen is it detects if you have a lawsuit, and if it does, it will set a redstone block in a different area. And as you can see, I've used light blue terracotta and white concrete, but it will be replaced with redstone block and red terracotta, and to help his position will change just like how it does inside of Pizzeria Simulator. Then after a short period of time it will be reset so you can be used again. Now the bankruptcy ending I have now completed to how to get it. So it just detects if your cash goes into the negatives, and if it does, this command block will power and it will stop all of the command blocks and starting the bankruptcy ending. So first it will set a redstone block over here, which will reset the whole map to be played another time, just so you can play it another time if without going through all of the maps and changing the scoreboards. Now that all of the cutscenes have been added and voice lines, this now completes the bankruptcy ending. As you can see here, the player is told they ran out of cash and they are a lost cause, and hand unit continues to make fun of them until eventually being awarded the certificate of bankruptcy. Now this isn't really an ending, but it's a secret certificate that can be given to the player if they play all of the minigames and get all 3 secrets in each of the minigames, these ones being Fruity Maze, Midnight Motorist, and the Security Puppet minigames, and we have to add all of the minigames before we can actually work on adding the Lawkeeper certificate in-game. So now we have to make all of the mini-games. Now let's start with the balloon barrel, because I've decided we're going to do this in order and make every mini-game first in order they come with, starting with the balloon barrel. So here's the room we are going to be using for the balloon barrel minigame. As you can see, it's just a miniature version of the shop with the balloon barrel in it, and what we're going to need to do is to make the player press a certain key, well, shift in our case for playing needing to crouch, which will stop the player. So we haven't made any commands yet, but let's go and start working to complete the minigame. So I've created a crouch scoreboard so we can detect when the player crouches, which will make when your player grips a balloon. So as you can see, it's called balloon barrel B crouch, and it detects when I crouch, so when I crouch this can power and end whatever part of the minigame that we actually need. So now we just have to make the rest of it. But the bad part is this detects whenever you crouch, which means you could crouch anywhere, like in the Tycoon segment, or in the Office segment, intro minigames, or anywhere in the actual map, and it will plow the minigame. So to fix that, I've made a second scoreboard called Is BB On for standing Is Balloon Barrel On, and if this will only power if the balloon barrel is on. So if I turn that, it won't. If I crouch, nothing will happen. But if I turn it back on, as you can see, it will power because it's detected that the balloon barrel minigame is turned on. So the next thing we need to do is have this arm stand of Helpy here grab a balloon whenever we crouch. So as you can see, Helpy is standing there, and if we were to crouch, his Helpy animation would change. So as you can see, if I took crouch, it looks like he's now holding a balloon, and then it'll power the rest of the minigame, which will say game win, before maybe giving you a performance bonus of $100. And this is just being used a data merge command, which will merge and change the data of these Helpy armor stand, so whenever I crouch, it will power this armor stand and make his position change. So now that we've completed the minigame, as you can see here, it's pretty simple. So as you can see, we have a couple more command blocks, the same one from before, but this time it will play a sound before giving your score of 250. Playing another sound will power this strip of command blocks here, which will teleport you back inside the shop or the Tycoon, depending where you powered it from. So what you'll do, you'll come over here, and these two are the randomizers to detect if you want the performance bonus or not, or if you got enough score for the performance bonus. And if it checks it on, it will infinitely teleport you inside there, so the player can't wander around inside the small box. So if I were to turn that on, as you can see, I can't move, and the only way to get out is if I turn off this scoreboard, or if I complete the minigame, where it will turn off the scoreboard for me. So as you can see, the minigame's ended after a short period of time. It'll teleport me back to the first stage pizzeria, because that is the pizzeria that I currently have bought or purchased at the moment. So now all we have to do is actually a way to start the minigame, because the only one we have is this manually by clicking these two buttons. So how we're going to start the minigame is with this command block, and inside here, it will detect if we have thrown the balloon barrel item from the minecart, but only if we have placed the balloon barrel. So if the balloon barrel is placed, and it will power this strip, and then teleport you inside this black box. And once it teleports inside that black box, it will teleport you in there, clear your inventory of any items before starting the minigame, which will start the minigame to start. So if I were to show this off, if I were to go back into the first stage pizzeria and place the balloon barrel, like here, just select the first box like this, and then hold the attractions item and throw the balloon barrel. As you can see here, we have a balloon barrel. If I throw it again, we'll be teleported into this black box before the minigame's done. So then we'll crouch, the minigame will be over, and then we didn't get a performance bonus. But we can also try it again. As you still can see, if I were to throw it again, we can see if we get a performance bonus. So as you can see, if I did it again, and this time I've gotten a performance bonus of $100, which is a quick way to earn cash if you have nothing on you without starting the next day. And now I can't throw it even if it's not placed. Now with most of the main mini games over, we have to actually have a way to do this, because in Pizza Sim you have play tokens and you only have 10 a day to play with, and once you've used them all you can't play any of the mini games. So at the beginning of the detection commands, it will detect if you have enough tokens. So it will detect you if you have one or more tokens, and if that happens it will power, and if it doesn't it won't remove them. So as you can see, this is where it will say game win, but over here it will remove one play token every time you play one of these mini games. Now we have to work on the different ones like Midnight Motors, Fruity Maze, and the security puppet. So here is the layout we have for the maze of Fruity Maze. Now this is the one taken from in-game, and as you can see I've already littered the fruits throughout the map, and it's just an armor stand with a yellow concrete block on its head to resemble the fruit. Now, what I'm going to do is first make the fruit functional, because at the moment all they do is sit there, and I want to make it so when you walk up to it, it will pick up the fruit and add it to your score so you can extend your time. So this is the setup that makes the fruit work. So as you can see, these chain of command blocks will be powered by this repeating command block, and inside it, it detects that the fruit, an entity with the tag fruit, which all of the armor stands in Fruity Maze has, and if we go near it, and if we do, it will power this chain here, which will get rid of the item on its head to make it look like the fruit is no longer there by replacing with air. Then it will remove the tag fruit so we can't abuse the system, and play a sound to let you know. So if I have to go in here, as you can see, it plays the sound as I walk up to it, and their head is now gone to make it look like the fruit isn't there anymore. And if I try to walk back into it, it wouldn't work. The armor stand is still there, it's just their concrete on their head has been changed to air, so it looks like it's not there, and all I have to do is use two command blocks to reset it, and I've now reset the maze. So now what I'm going to do is make the power up for the speed. So here is our lightning bolt player head. It's the same as the others one over there, and it's the exact same command as well, detecting if you're at the position of the armor stand with a certain tag, and this one has a different tag, this one being speed. And if we'll first do the same thing as it does before and replace it with air so it looks like it's not there anymore, and remove the tag speed so you can't abuse the system and get infinite power-ups, then it will play a sound like usual, but it will give the player a speed effect for 40 seconds just like it does inside a Fruity Maze. So as you can see here, if I would walk up to it, I now have speed 40 seconds, as you can see in the side of my screen, and all I have to do is click this button over here to reset it, and it works in the exact same way. If I were to click it, as you can see, it's right there. Now we have to work on the magnet. Now for the magnet, in the game, it just makes fruits come to you, but I don't want to get a teleport command of all of the fruits, so instead it's just going to change the distance. As you can see, the scoreboard says I now have magnet on, and this will power, and if it does, it will detect if I've powered the magnet, the same as over here, but instead of giving me speed, it will say the scoreboard is on. And now I've also added another one of these, and at this time it detects if I have the magnet, and if I have the magnet, it will change the distance from 1.5 blocks to 3.5 blocks, so you can get fruit with more of distance. So now that we've done that, we just need to add, I want to add a scoreboard and the timer for the game. But to show off, as you can see here, if I were to walk up and pick up these fruits, as you can see like that, and pick them up, it works. But if I get a magnet over here, as you can see, I've now had the magnet, and if I go over here, the fruits now get picked up from a greater, larger distance, which means I can pick up more fruit at a time, even if I'm not on their same block. So now what I need to do is, if I were to reset that, as you can see, they're still there, but I can collect more fruits, but they no longer have the range as they did before, and they now have the normal range. So let's make the power-ups complete. So as you can see here, I have a scoreboard on the side of my screen labeled Fruity Maze, and it has magnet and speed. And these are the timers that show off and tell us when the magnet and the speed is going to wear off. So as you can see, it will set a scoreboard to speed on and reset the speed score to 40 seconds, same as the magnet. And these will detect when you have the score, which will remove 1 from the timer if the score matches 1 or higher. And if it does, it will remove 1 from the timer, and this one over here detects when it reaches 0, and when it does, it will remove the magnet from the player so it no longer works, and it will reset the magnet as well, so it looks like we have no magnet. So as you can see, if I do that, we have 40 seconds and the countdown started, so every single second we have 40 seconds of magnet. So I have to go around the maze and use my magnet ability to collect all the fruits, and after these 30 seconds or 40 seconds, depending how long is left, it's up, the magnet will turn off. So as you can see, I'm collecting all of the fruits, as you can see, and if I keep wandering around the maze, I have 20 seconds left of my magnet. So I have 20 seconds left. Now you can collect more than one magnet, which will increase this time you have on the magnet, because instead of it setting it, it's adding to the score. So as you can see, we have 9 seconds left. Now we have 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, 1. So if I were to go over here, as you can see, when it reaches 0, my magnet ability now wears off, and I have to use all of them and use them like that. Same works for the speed. As you can see, if I were to use the speed or reset the fruit maze like that and show you off the speed one, if I were to grab the speed also has 40 seconds, but if I'll just increase it, so you can see yourself going faster. When it hits 0, as you can see, it removes my speed effect, so I no longer have the speed effect and can't move throughout the maze as faster as I could. So now we just have to finish it up and add details. So now I've added all of the details and finished through the maze entirely, and here are all of the command blocks that do that. So as you can see over here, we now have a few more commands, and this detects if the time matches 0 or not, and it will say time extended, and that will give the player more time. This detects if you get a certain amount of fruit in the whole maze, which will start playing the winning part where it says amazing on your screen, and this detects if the time is up. If the time is up, it will say time is up on your screen, as you can see that, and reset the minigame, but not add 3. But since the minigame has 3 different variants of it, over here we'll reset it. And this detects if you're on the 3rd round, the most glitched of them all. And this one you cannot beat at all, so you just have to wait for the time to run out. And when it will power these terrible commands and teleport you inside here of the image of Susie and Spring Bonnie, or William Afton inside the Spring Bonnie suit next to Susie while it plays the dialogue lines. And then it will give you a performance bonus for you finding the lore, and also the lore keeper ending. This detects if the matches runs 1 to 3, because you can't play the minigame after you have gotten the last secret lore part, and these detect if the lore matches 2 or 3. And if it does, what it will do, it will place some of the one fruit inside there with that dog helmet, and this detects if it is 3, and it will place it with this one and the flower pot, because there's flowers and dead dogs throughout the map, and it will also make a particle effect of red dust or blood like inside of the minigame. So here's the map we have for Midnight Motors, and as you can see, instead of making one whole road, which is super long, I've decided we're just going to use the same road for each lap, and we'll teleport you at the beginning. So the first thing we need to do to make this functional is to make the cars that go up and down each side of the minigame, which will stop you if you get hit into them and slow you down. And to win, you have to get 5 laps completed by crossing this finish line. And if you do all of that, you'll get a performance bonus of $100, but there is secret lore in this minigame just like in Fruity Maze. So let's get started working on the cars. So here is the cars, and as you can see, they are armor stands with purple car player heads on top of them, and they're going up and down the road depending on what side they're going on. If they're on that side, they'll be going up, and if they're going on the other side, they'll be going down. As you can see, when they reach the finish line, they'll be teleported at the beginning to restart their cycle. And how this works is all these repeating command blocks here, and what they are doing is each of them, they have 3 for each car, so as you can see, each of them have a different tag because they're in a different position. So it detects at the position of the armor stand, then it detects if the block under them is a certain block, and if it does, it will be purple terracotta, which will make them go up or down, or the other one, purple underscore concrete, which will make them go the other way. And magenta concrete also will make them teleport at the end, and then the other side, it will teleport them at the beginning to make this all work in functionality. So as you can see, if I were to walk into them, nothing were to happen. But what we need to do is make it when we hit it, and we'll go spin out of control, so let's go do that. So here's the setup that I'm using to make this work. So as you can see, it's just a chain of strip of command blocks, and what it will do is it will detect if we run into one of these cards. Now each of them have a different tag, as you can see here, and I don't want to go through all of it again. So in the command block, what it detects at the position of an armor stand with a player head on it named purple car, which is the player head that is on top of each one of these entities. So if I were to put it on a normal armor stand or even on myself, it would execute at my position. And then the detective will do that, and I'll set this block to air so it can't be spammed over and over again if you keep getting hit by cars. It will then do a command which will spin the player around and around again while playing a sound, and at the end it will put the comparator back so the system can be powered again, which is pretty simple. So if I have to show this off, if I walk into this car, I'll spin around a full 360 degrees and it'll play a sound. So if I were to look up, I'll look in the same position, and you can see it keeps getting hit over and over again. So if I got hit there, I'm facing in the same direction and I can still move. So I can still move around just like in Midnight Motors. It just slows me down a lot. So what we're going to do next is add the score. So as you can see on the side of my screen, I have the same type of style that we had for Fruity Maze. As you can see, we have lap, miles per hour, and score. So now we're going to make those functional. So as you can see, if I were to walk down here, my score is going to go up. And if it keeps going up, because it's a scoreboard that detects how far I'm running. Now, this isn't accurate to how it works in Midnight Murders, but for Minecraft, I had to change a few things to make it to get work. So after the end, as you can see, it now we have 1 lap completed, and it will teleport us at the beginning again by doing a title and playing a beep noise. As you can do it again, we now have 2, and we can keep doing this until we reach lap 5, where if it detects that it reaches lap 5 or higher, it will restart the minigame and send us back into the pizzeria, giving us a performance bonus if we get a certain amount of score. So as you can see, this score is very helpful, and I just love the fact these scoreboards. So I have to keep doing this. It just keeps going up and up with the title screen. So now that we have completed most of Midnight Motorist, now we have to do the second thing, which is on lap 4, just before you complete it, there's a chance that this wall will be deleted where you can get to the secret part of the minigame. So what I have is if I select the lap to 4, as you can see the black concrete will be removed and we can go inside here, which we will detect, and then start the secret minigame. But we can't stay in here for long because if it detects that it's any other score, like 1, the black concrete will be set there, or 3, or if it sets to 5, or any other number that isn't 4, it will not do that. After an hour of building, we now have the secret part of the minigame's map built. As you can see, we have all of the road that leads all the way down to Junior's over here, where we have the parking lot with all the cars inside them. So as you can see, we have every single car, and then we have the Junior's sign itself inside the Junior's building. Now, Green Guy isn't there at the moment, but we'll add him later. Then you go down this winding path until it gets smaller, and it'll lead up to this house. Now, inside this house, it doesn't actually have an interior. So what I plan to do is when you get close enough to the house's front door, it will teleport you into this bigger model of the house, which will mean you can actually do the second part of the minigame, where there'll be a person here watching TV. You'll go up to here and bang on the door, and when it happens, you'll have to go outside, where you will find broken window and some footprints led by whoever broke out and ran off to that place. So we just have to add the functionality like the armor stands, the dialogue, and most of the minigame. Now, the minigame should be pretty simple, so we just have to work on the small commands that should make this work. Now, this first gonna start on Green Guy. So now we have completed the entirety of Midnight Motorist. So this detects if the lap matches 6, which will say go, and then it will reset the minigame before teleporting you back into the pizzeria. And over here, I've added the commands for the secret part of the minigame. So this hopper clock here is making this line flash, and as you can see, his dialogue has started playing. Not it when you get close enough to him. Now I've also made it so his heads follow you because it added quiet touch. Now since I have night vision, can't actually see, but it's removing this with air and making the light flash like it does in game. And it just detects if we get closer. Now over here is the more complex, but still not complex. So over here, it detects if you get close enough to the door, and it'll change which comparator activates because we don't want all of them powering at once. So as you can see, over here, if I go up close enough to this armor stand model here watching TV, it will say leave him alone tonight, he's had a rough day, and it will do that forever, unlike the other one. So I'm not going to go into much detail for the security puppet minigame because it isn't that specific or very big. So I've just copied the build over here and made it 3D. So the first thing we're going to do is make the puppet pop peep in and out, and then we'll do the cutscene, and then we should be done. So I've completed the cutscene and the puppet peeking its head out. So as you can see here, here's what's going on for the cutscene when you play the minigame for a certain amount of times. So in here, as you can see, we have our Charlie, who is jumping up and down with this particle effect, and the particle effect also carries on in here, where the dead body of Charlie is lying in the alleyway with the tire tracks. So if I were to go over here with the particles, it just works in a very simple way, with a repeating command block playing a particle command of rain. So if I have the cutscene, it detects when a redstone block will be set over here, and power this. It will set a redstone block over here, which will play a rain sound command to make it sound like it's raining. Now, once that happens, it will then detect if we get in a certain distance, and then it will then change it from that rain to this rain to make it look louder, like we've been outside. And it will teleport us outside with this one here, which detects if we get close enough to Charlie inside of the alleyway, which will stop the sound, give us slowness so we cannot move anymore, and it will then reset the minigame and put us back inside the box to the pizzeria, which is now completed the security puppet minigame. And with that, we have now completed the FNAF 6 project and everything I wanted to get done for it. And this brings us command block count to just over 10,000. Now, I'm really proud of this project, and it took so long to get out to you guys, but I'm finally happy it is. So let's play through this map and see if we can survive all 6 nights in Five Nights at Freddy's 6 or Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Let's see if we can survive every single night and get the completion ending. Alright, so here we are in the minigame. Round 1, so let's grab our pizzas, and 1, 2, that's you sorted, that's you sorted, and that's you sorted. So now there are 5 kids, no, not 5, oh yes, 5, there's 5 kids, so 1, I should just go from middle, so you 2 need 1 each, and the middle one needs 2, so that should probably be the rest for this round. So 1, 2, 3. Who needs more? Oh, I don't know. Oh, this one. Alright, so get that child down first. here comes the glitchy round, where I can just do whatever I want, because nothing really happens in this round. Whatever people say. You hungry? Grey bear? Alright, now we're in the salvage room with scrap baby. Start the tape. Leaving Dead Space 3, 2, 1. I'm not gonna read everything. There's a lot in chat. There's 3 of these prompts. So yeah. This is just an interactive cutscene and nothing actually happens. It's not really anything interactive. I'm just gonna pretend I documented my results, so I have something to do. Hello, scrap baby. I can't wait for the actual salvage segments and the office. That'll be fun. It's stressful. It's almost over. Should be over. Please. I document results. I'm just gonna pretend I did that. The last prompt. And then you're going to interrupt Henry. 3, 2, 1.
It's a new day. It's your time to shine. It's time to take your career into your own hands. You've saved money your whole life. Great. Now it's time to put all your eggs into one basket and take a huge gamble on your future. A gamble that comes with a 100% chance of success in some cases. What are we talking about? We're talking about becoming a Fazbear Entertainment franchisee. That's right, restaurant ownership and management. Something almost anyone can do with a limited degree of success. Sure, it's a lot of money to invest, but everyone's doing it, and that means it's safe and lucrative. With your initial investment, you'll receive everything you need to get started, including a small room, some tables, and electricity. But don't forget about the money you had left over after buying your franchise package. Use it to decorate, buy a stage, buy attractions and animatronics, and much, much more. Now, let's take a look at a few things that will help you get started as a Fazbear Entertainment franchisee, such as atmosphere. Making sure your establishment has an inviting atmosphere is essential to bringing in new customers. Entertainment. Having a lot of entertainment value in your restaurant will ensure that customers come back. Bonus revenue. Coin-operated games and attractions can generate additional revenue during the day, which means more money in your pocket, ready for reinvestment. Health and safety. There may be times when you purchase something of questionable quality, and we don't blame you. Cutting corners is just good business. But there are steps you can take to ensure you don't get sued for it, and that brings us to liability. Being a thrifty shopper is smart, but be aware that buying things on sale comes with a certain amount of risk of lawsuits. There's also the risk that something might be hiding inside whatever you just purchased with that steeply discounted price tag. Of course, that would only be a serious danger if there were something outside that's been trying to get in for months now. This concludes the amount of help we're legally obligated to provide. Remember, you are now the face of the newly rebranded Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for disappearance, death, or dismemberment. Let's see how much cash you had left over after purchasing your franchise package. Great, that should be more than enough. Now let's get started.
Now with the intro cutscene over with, we can start doing some shopping. So, $100 to spend day one, not really much we can do. One bonus revenue, one entertainment, maybe. Ooh, 3 entertainment for only $30. Has one risk though. One risk isn't enough. Yeah, we shouldn't get a lawsuit. As long as we don't find else with risk. I don't see it all. No. If I don't buy trash in the gang, then it's pretty pointless to buy. So you can just get better animatronics later on if you wait. How about buy the paper pals, they're cheap. Then they want to add a sphere. $60. We can buy them. So they have the paper pals. Alright, so 1 atmosphere at the moment due to the paper pals. Paper down the balloon pal. 1 atmosphere, 1 entertainment, 1 revenue. And that should bring us up to 4 entertainment, 1 atmosphere, 1 revenue, and 1 risk. That risk shouldn't be too much because we don't really have a lot that would affect anything. I'm not gonna take the sponsorship off. We don't have enough to upgrade our pizzeria. There's not really anything else we can buy, and we just might as well go to the office shift. So I'm gonna explain how I usually do the office shift in FNAF 6. I would usually do the loud task first, but I don't do that on night 1 because it's kind of pointless. Because there's no animatronics to kill us. But I'll do that for a few reasons. One, because the temperature is low, which means if I turn off the fan and turn on the sign of ventilation, it won't be as high if I did it later on. And the animatronics are at their starting point, all of them. Well, that's still not my cut. At the starting point, all of them are at the starting point, which means they're further away, and I can turn off the fan if they're close because the temperature will be low. Just wait. I'll finish. Hi, Healthy. So, just not gonna look at the. It's looking at the camera. There's 6 tasks remaining, not including the combat. And the salvages will be very helpful, actually. These are very loud. So we're not loud tasks are not even. I should hear it. Nope, we completed the task. One more. And then we can get onto the salvage segment. So that will get us $500. It's a lot. So we could do a lot with that actually. We could bonus that. Oh, mother. Alright, so the salvage segment. Now with that cutscene over, we are now in the salvage room. Hi, Molten Freddy. Yes, this is an animatronic found in the back alley, and my choice will be I'll be salvaging it. Thank you. $500, we can do a lot with that. We shouldn't have to over-tase him unless he isn't nice. If he's aggressive, we'll have to shove him off. The max rule loses $50 if he's aggressive. No. Actually, he might be nice because he didn't move. This already means there's 4 prompts left, so if he doesn't move again, that means we don't have to tase him over 2 times. Which, actually, that would be very good. Yeah, that would be good. So I don't need to tase you at the moment. These prompts are very hard. Come on, document results. Come on. Document results. Up, yeah, he moved. So this is his reaction stage, which means we have a 50-50. Actually, we have. I don't know what chances we have. I think it's a 25% chance for him to not move. I don't know. All I know. Oh, yeah, he high chance he'll kill us than not moving. So I'm just gonna tase him. Better be safe than sorry. Anyway, this is the first time I've tased him. Come on, prompt. Document results. Well, tasing you instead. Yep, he moved to the same position again. So this is a fourth prompt. Oh yeah, we went over tasing. Because if he moves after I shot him this time, that's the final tase. So yeah, that'd be actually fine. So let's get tased. Oh yes, he did move. Yeah, that means we don't have to tase him. Which means we only used our taser twice. Usually in FNAF 6 I have to overuse the taser. Or so I'm pretty glad that I didn't have to. Document results. He moved to his hostile stage. Luckily that was the end there. Alright, summary segment. 10 new visitors. 43 total visitors. -710 away, don't know how to fix that. $200, $200 more dollars, that's 400 plus the 5, that's like 1,000. Yeah, basically 1,000 plus the 30. See, we have like around $1,000 to spend. No new lawsuits, which is good. We have $1,000 to spend. The first thing I'm gonna do is upgrade my pizzeria. That seems to be the best thing to do. Upgrade. So now that we have the second stage pizzeria, I'll move in, place down my attractions. Now let's go see what we can buy. I might want to buy the duck pond. Yeah, I want that. And that was apparently all we need to unlock the next catalog. For your party set, I don't really buy the tabletop decorations unless it's the last one. Don't see myself needing speakers. Fruity maze. Yeah, some cash. I won't get midnight murders for now. 3 bonus revenue from Double Swivel Pants. I'm not buying any stages. No free traffic light for $80. And I'm not getting any of these. Candy Cadet. Alright, at the moment, I'm just going to place my new attractions in place. So that would be the Fruity Maze, and then the Duck Pond. Yes, that brings us to 9 entertainment, 3 revenue, 1 atmosphere, and still run 1 risk. Anything we can get in the new catalog. There was a few things I wanted, but I want to save cash. 3 bonus revenue, that will... Yeah, I'll get Double Swivel Hands. So that leaves us with $442. We could get some bonus revenue by playing the arcade minigames. Let's play Fruity Maze. And so now we can start Fruity Maze, right? So yeah, we should be able to... Yeah, we should be able to get at least $100 from Fruity Maze as long as we don't run out of time. At this point, I don't see that I will. We need that magnet. Magnet will be helpful if we can get to the foods. Oh no, dead end. We do have around a minute left, so we should be fine. Speed, don't want to use speed power up, I'll get it. Just because. Magnet, I need a magnet. Where is a magnet? That is a dead end. Not a magnet. Alright, more fruit, which should extend my speed, because I need a magnet. Speed. What's my store? Yes, a magnet. The only thing the magnet does not get is the magnets will power up themselves. Nah, got everything there. Ooh, I'm close. Oh, I do have over a minute, so I should be able to find wherever the rest of the fruit is. I do remember. Where is it? I saw it earlier, but I went a different path. I don't remember which way I went. We have a minute. I don't know if I'm gonna... I'm just going in circles. I need to actually... Please don't be a dead end. It's a dead end. How many times have I went there? I have no idea how many times I've been there. Oh, yep, here's the fruit. Must be, yep, found it. I'm so pissed. Yes, and I did it. Alright, we did it. And $100. Very helpful. So we now have $500 to spend. Duck Pond. We do have a chance to get some cash with the Duck Pond. No, we don't have a chance for this one. We do have more. We have 8 more tokens to use. Yeah, please be 500. No, this isn't 500 now. Because we need 1,000 points or more. I'll play it one more time. 100, please be 500. No. Alright, yeah, so we'll just complete the night after this. $500 will be a good thing to start the next day. Can't upgrade a pizzeria, don't want that, and can't get anything in the shop, so you have to start. Molten Freddy is in the vent system with us now. Turn off the fan, and start with the last. Turn off the ventilation. It decrease. We just get it down to 60 again. Oh, now I'm worried. That's the last one. I didn't mean to turn the computer off. Alright. I'm not going to detect. Where are you? He's there, so he shouldn't be a problem at the moment. Get on the up us. It's gonna get a lot more chaotic with the more animatronics we add. I don't really seem to need a way to get any of these. Alright, I will occasionally check them. Alright, after this task, I'll check the mission. He was on this side. That side. I'll check them. I don't like it when he doesn't appear in the detector. There. Let's lower him back into the middle. Okay, back. Should be there. Get there. Get back there. There. Get me there, actually. This should go 50-50 which way he goes. Let's just hope he can kill us. Let's go up there to get more animatronics. After this, I'll check. Motion detector. It's still on my left. Turn sound ventilation on. It's on my left, so pay attention to my left more than my right. I keep forgetting that I'm not allowed to turn off the computer. I have 2 tasks left. I should be able to just leave this off for the rest of the night. Don't hear anything. Last task. Wait. Well, stressful. I won't forget Saturday hand unit, don't worry. So here is Scrap Trap. You are worth 1,000. Yeah, I'll use you. Yeah, you're 1,000. Begin prompt. Document results. Please be nice. I do not. Well, yeah, this is your second movement. I'd rather be safe and tase you anyway. Scrap Trap is always the salvage that I seem to lose on. I can always be fine with Lefty and Scrap Baby and Mom Freddy. It's just Scrap Trap I can never get done. Come on, document results. Actually, I don't want to document results. I want to tase you. Come on, quickly. Should end soon. I would rather tase you. Yes. And you move straight back to the same position. You're not being very nice here, Scrap Trap. Like usual. So I'm gonna have to tase you again, which I don't want to do. Must be over now. Oh, these prompts are so long. Get it. Oh, you are so aggressive. You are on your final stage. This is my final stage to use as well. You are very annoying, man. Get tased. And you... Oh my god, you are so aggressive. I'm gonna tase you. I don't want to lose you on the last one. I don't want to lose you on the last one. Oh, that $50. And of course, then you'd be nice when the thing ends. So let's see. 22 new visitors, 45 returning visitors, 67 total visitors, 17 turned away. 335. Ooh. It's not 1,000. Oh, actually, and then plus the 500. We have like $2,000 to spend. We have $2,000 to spend. You know what I'm gonna do? I will play Free Maze. Now it should be a bit more glitched than before. Yeah. More glitchy. Not this, what? Wait, this is the level. I can fix that quickly. This is level 3, not level 2, but I can fix that. It's a simple fix. But for gameplay's sake, I'm just going to leave it. And just play this. Like normal. Yeah, there's the car. Might as well just wait. There's not really much we can do. Time is up. We should get $300 from this. He's not really dead. He's over here. Follow me. Don't follow him. And with that lure, I should get 300 clothes. Now I have 3. Alright, so now I can move and upgrade my pizzeria one last time. And I want to get the deluxe concert stage. We still have $1,000. We just need to unlock the next catalog to get it. What would we need to buy? Well, I want to put someone on the pizzeria stage. Happy Frog, I'll buy you. Novelty traffic light is not a lot. How much do I have to purchase? Mr. Hippo has 4 entertainment, I'll buy him. You seem to not want... You have 1 risk, I cannot have that risk for entertainment. Finally, about time. Yeah, I won't buy... Oh, I can't afford the stage now. Oh. Have an upgraded pizzeria. Let's put down our attractions. So, first... The duck pond. Ooh, this is discountable pit. I think we need an upgrade from discountable pit. I'm gonna see what else we can buy. 10 entertainment, 9 tokens, 6 atmosphere, 6 bonus revenue, 1 risk. I'm gonna go see what else I can buy. Lemonade Clown? No. Can't afford you, so can't buy anything. Can I play anything? Play Duck Pond. This is one that requires strategy. Yeah. 300 points. Wow, you really helped me out there. I want $100, please. Oh no, I'm gonna be here all day. $100, please be 500. No. You don't seem to be very nice to me. $500. 100, please be 500. No, I was so close. So close then, actually. It's actually very irritating. The duck pond. 500. Please be 500. Yes! Yes! $100. That means I can buy the deluxe concert stage. Please don't be more than $873. Oh, thank God, you're 810. So now that puts us down to barely any cash, but at least we have the stage, because I wasted so much money on animatronics, and if I didn't have a stage to put them down, I would be very irritated. So, Happy Frog. Ooh, we should get the mediocre melody. The hippo. And pig patch. So there's a 22 entertainment. What day is it again? It's Wednesday, so we have Thursday, Friday. We have 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. 3 days to get a bit of cash. Right, so now we have 2 people in the office with us. Wonderful. Now I'm gonna go check that out. Strap, and not play, where are you? See what that. So if you're there, temperature's going up. So much already. Couldn't remember if it was or not. I can now put the phone back on. Oh, I'm gonna check the machine detector after this. Do not want any surprise attacks. Actually, I was gonna check the detector. I'm gonna detect after this. You are right there. They are there now. So I'm just supposed to get the they are close to there. Right, we have make sure they do not. Yep, it's my office. That would be a bit of a doozy. Not a lot of tasks left. There is 3 left. One more. No encounters with any mechanical. Alright, that's over. Now we are salvaging Scrap Baby, who I'm pretty sure is what, 2,000. And with, combined with our revenue and entertainment, that should be enough to get the Mediocre Melodies achievement. And if I get the Mediocre Melodies, yes, I should have enough money to get what I need to get done. The bad thing is I don't know your movement, so I have no idea if you're about to kill me. I have no idea if you're about to kill me. I don't know Scrap Baby's movements. So right now she could be on a reaction stage. But I don't know, she could be on a hostile stage. I have no clue. I'm gonna tase you because I just don't know. $50 isn't too much out of 2,000. Yeah, well, this is a different stage from before. I have no clue if you're about to kill me. I wish I knew your stages like I knew the other stages. I'm gonna have to tase you. Come on, end. Alright, so hopefully if you move again, I swear. Thank God. Thank you so much, Scrap Baby, if you're not moving. I did not realize the tape wasn't playing. She definitely moved then. Well, I completed it with $2,000. I didn't overuse the taser, that's good. Let's see. 56 new visitors, that's good. 69 returning visitors. 125 total visitors. Turned away 75, expected that. Yeah, we're gonna have enough to afford it. Or maybe not. Wait, we do have 1,000 left over. 3,000. All of it was 1,000. We need 500. We might actually be able to do it though. Actually. Oh no, we need the next catalog unlocked. Yeah, we can't afford it. Maybe on the next day, actually, we can afford it. We can't get you, can we? $750. I could get Music Man. I'm gonna buy it. And we got the next catalog unlocked, which means... that means good. I'm gonna place my tower right here. And I'm going to play you, because you means I have a chance of $100, $1,000 in Music Man. Oh, sorry. There's a high chance of me getting nothing, but I have 10 tries. I have to get something out of that 10 tries. I need something out of the 10 tries. Yep, got $100. That's 7 play tokens left, so using those calculations, that means every 3 turns I'm gonna get something. So that means I could get... Yep, we got $100 more. I knew the Bullpit Tower was a good profit, but we're still not getting enough Orville for this night. I know we're gonna get Orville tomorrow. Ooh, this is a liability risk. I only really got it for the minigame. I'll remove it once I'm done. Come on, minigames, hurry up, please. Alright, go. Got nothing. I have 6 more goes. No, that's the play tokens. I have 4 more goes. I'm still gonna atmosphere. Oh, I shouldn't have waited. I really need. Yes, $100. Alright. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna just do the rest of it. See what I can get from it. Nothing? Please, I need something on my last go. I have 1 token. Please give me something. $1,000 would be very worth it, please. Please, $1,000. Nothing? Really? Alright, I'm gonna go. You're an instant monster, right? Get rid of you. I have nothing to replace you with, I just realized. I have nothing to replace you with, so I'm just going to put you back. I for some reason thought I had one. That's the ball pit. And then we'll put down the barrel. Alright, so with that, I don't really see much we can do for the day. Do I have any animatronics that I can place? No, I can get some though, but I would rather save it for the next day. So finish. I'm gonna put a law. No. I will do my task. Yep, I find it. This is gonna be speedrunning now. Look up to the right. Probably after. Completed. Rest of the tasks. Oh, shit. I'm questioning if I should get the super or the high speed up and the high premium, because that'll help me out a lot. But I still want to see if I can get all of them. I'm questioning because I don't remember if I put away the pulpit tower. I do not want a lawsuit. I'm pretty sure I put it away. Yeah, I put it away. So I should turn that off. Come on, come on, come on. I do not want too many tasks. Come on. I think it is. I hope it's safe. Thought I did. Well, I did. I'm not gonna let that stop me. Go left and right until it's over. Hit something. I don't care. I don't care at all. Alright, so salvaging Lefty. You are $5,000. I can use you. Proceed. 3, 2, 1, alright. I don't know you either, because I always I'm pretty sure when you're looking down, I'm pretty sure when you're looking down, so this is your reaction stage. With my luck, you're gonna kill me. And that $5,000 will get me Orville. The Orville is which I want. Because I'm pretty sure the Rockstar's assembly gives me 20,000. The Minigames Melodies give me 10,000. With 10,000 I can get the Rockstar. Yeah, sure. I can purchase you after this. So as long as you be nice. Angel went straight to killing me. What do you know? What do you know? Well, I know that you dislike me. So we won't have to, as long as we don't use the tails over 10 times, which I don't see any reason for me to do. I should be able to get all of them. But I still want to get the max amount of cash I can get from the salvage. I'm not a guy. I'm not gonna risk that. I'm not one of those guys who risks. Get tased. That was prompt 3. Oh, Lefty. You have to do that. If you don't move after I tase you. And you didn't. Thank you, Lefty. Thank you so much. Oh, but then we have after this prompt. This is the last prompt. Yes, you won't kill me. Which is about jump 3 things. Check my results. Yeah, I've got my... Yes, $5,000. That means we can get Lefty. I have the Star Curtain stage, right? Yeah, I have it. 56 new visitors. 69 returning visitors. There's 125 visitors. Oh. 450. 5,000. Oh, yeah. $6,000 in illicits. Yes, thank you. Wait, so let me just double check. I do that. Gotta start on stage. So all I need is Ned Bear. All I need is Ned Bear, and I can get him. He's like. Okay, so I have Happy Frog, Mr. Hippo, and Big Patch. So that means I can go get all of them now. Yeah, have the stuff on stage. So I can get all of them. You know what? All of his money. He is in this one. Will we have enough? Yeah, so Orville will be half of my cash. So I'll still have. I might actually be able to get the rock stars. Oh no, they're 2,000 each. Yeah, they're 2,000. I'm not gonna be able to do the rock stars this summer. Let's go through this now. So I need you. And now that I've done that, I should be able to. Table's looking bad. I'm gonna get some tabletop decorations. You are not. You're an animatronic. Happy Frog. Mr. Hippo. Ned there. You are one. So I'm not gonna keep you up. That means a lawsuit. And I do not want a lawsuit. Over. Yep, $10,000. Ned Bear, you are coming down. Actually, I can get Rockstars Assemble. I can get Rockstars. Are they in this catalog? I never remember. Because if there's 2,000 each, I should be able to get all four with, I think, 8,000 left. So 5,000, that's close. With 5,000 left, I'm just gonna take. Lucky that was not put up because I did not want to waste one of my minigames. So I'm just gonna take down all of my animatronics to be prepared for Rockstar Assemble. So this means I can go buy Lefty now because I've salvaged Lefty. So you're $5 and you're not a. You don't hurt me in the slightest. So then I can put up Rockstar Bonnie. I don't really care what order. Rockstar Freddy, Rockstar Foxy, or Rockstar, and Rockstar Chica. Then if I put Lefty over here, where are you there? Yep, can I get the Rockstar Assemble achievement, which is $20,000. I have to put most of you down because I have 14 risk. Holy, you are going down. Foxy, Chica, Bonnie, Freddy. Actually, Foxy has a lot of entertainment and the same risk. I'll put you up. Where are you? There. Orville's going up because he is. You are very good. I'm gonna get. I want to put down Orville Elephant. I did not want to open my inventory. Orville Elephant. And the Rockstar Foxy is not up for some reason, but I can put you back up. Rockstar Foxy. Wheels shouldn't be too bad. Happy Frog. Mr. Hippo. What can I get for this cash? Can I get the security puppet or how much is this? 5,000? I'm gonna see if I can get I'm gonna get you maybe. And the floor just depends. Can I get Music Man? I can. I can get Music Man. But now, can I get this? I can, but if I get this, Alright, which one's better, the tabletop decoration or the flooring? You have 9 atmosphere and 5 health and safety. And you have 2 entertainment, 2 health and safety. I'll get you. You have entertainment, which will boost my cash. So there we have our new floor. We can go put Orville and Music Man up. So why is Orville not even up in the first place? Must have taken him down an act mistake. Music Man. Well, that's 3 risk. That means I'm gonna have to put down Rockstar Foxy. Yeah, I have to put down Rockstar Foxy. I'll replace you, though, with Pig Patch. Alright, so... that's all I can really do. Is there any attractions I can buy? Any attractions at all? I can't afford you. Oh, I can. Carnival Hoops 5 entertainment, 4 bonus revenue. 7 entertainment, 4 liability, no. Lawsuit. 3 entertainment, 1 bonus revenue, 1 entertainment. Get the Fruit Punch Clown. Wish you here. Where are you there? Can I get anything else? I think I can get... I'm gonna get Lemonade Clown and that'll be it. Place down Lemonade Clown and that will be it. What day is it, actually? I'm going to check this. I have no clue what the day is. It's Friday, so I only have Saturday remaining, so yeah. So we have all of them in the office now. And I'm going to start working on my house. Yep, so... hopefully I can get this to work. I do not want to die. After this I'll check the connector. What am I looking for? They're there. Anything else? Or they're just in there with them? Yeah, they're all there. So that means I should be safe if I can just start ordering some supplies. $600. There's no salvages, so there's nothing. So all I'm relying on only the entertainment. Music Man, and Orville. They should put me up a lot, especially with Lemonade Clown, Fruit Punch Clown added. So yes, that would be very good. Last day I don't really see by doing much, because the next day doesn't really matter, but I might as well have some fun on that day. Wait, you know, the footsteps. Come on. It's last night. Wait, no, it's not. No, I won't do it. I don't really think it matters. That is very much a glitch. One of them is only getting done, but the progress are going to come both. Very much a glitch. I will fix that later. Hear nothing. I hear nothing. I hear something. I am going to Richmond. Time to the office. Do my last one. Wish that's good. I do not want that. We lost that. I'm scared though. Oh, they are surrounding me. They are surrounding me. There's one on this side and one on this side. Footsteps. I heard footsteps. Oh god, no. Dang it. Oh. We must have gone in the wrong vent. Must have been the wrong vent. Oh, that is irritating. Either that or they ganged up on me and they're on both vents. That's a possibility. It's a very high possibility. Considering two are on both sides, I only looked at one vent. Oh, I didn't put on silent ventilation. Oh, that's annoying. But on the last task as well, I should have just done the main task. Instead of being paranoid, I could just do the task. I should have just done this task. After this, I'm going to check the mission detector. See where they are. So, they're all on that room right there. All four of them. So, I'm just going to ignore that and continue doing my task. I've learnt my lesson. Don't be paranoid and just do your tasks. I wouldn't have died if that was when I finish this category, I heard footsteps which side I do not want to die. Where? Did I get them? Did I get him? I think I got him. I think I got him. I'm not letting you get above 6 feet. No. Do not want to do something. Something's bad. I think I got him. Yeah, must have got him because I'm not dead. Oh, now I'm paranoid whenever there's one in one instead. I'm gonna die from the or something. I lost stuff. Just don't be paranoid and just do your tasks. Do your tasks. Do your tasks. There we go. Alright, there we go. There's no salvage. There's no salvage. Alright, let's see. 108 new visitors. But that means there must have been a lot turned away. Yeah, 107, no, 165. $1,000! $5,000 for salvage revenue. I do not know why I've salvage oh, that's from left now. Alright, 7,000. What could I get for $7,000? Link up. Seems like a nice one. Just focusing on attractions now. I have you. VR lawsuit. I'll get you and call it a day. I'll place down my balloon cart and call it a day. Where's my balloon cart? There it is. So now that we have our balloon cart, we didn't really buy much attractions, but I'm satisfied. Pizzeria upgrade, there's no sponsorships, so I didn't take any anyways, and last night. Throw fan instantly. Be quick as you can. Do the last class as quick as you can. Push you can. Not in the cities. Last night. Last night. Alright, so I can turn on the fan again. Don't hear anything. They shouldn't be at my office yet, just yet. Had the fan off most of the time, so they haven't been as fast. I'm gonna go check the mission. Well, they said one's in that corner. Are they all in that corner? They are all in that corner. I do not believe it. They stick as a pack. Did I hear something? No? Oh yeah, they're in the corner. How could I have heard something in the corner? They didn't move that fast. To be fair, the napkin was on. Not napkin, I'm looking at a fan. Napkin on. Fan on. Well, look, how are you not? After I finish this category, I will check the detective. I need to know their location. Do not want to repeat of the previous night. Where I died by Stratford. Must have been two in the van if they were on their sides. I'm checking. They're all there. One, two. Some of them are there. Some are all there. Where are they? I'm just gonna do my tasks. They are not going to move fast. I'm not going to allow them. Sound ventilation. It's much better than motion detector when I'm being using it. So close, so close, so close, so close. So close. Come on, come on. So close. Yep, there we go.
You played right into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No. This was a gift for us. You gathered them all together in one place. Just like he asked you to. All of those little souls in one place. Just for us. A gift. Now we can do what we were created to do. And be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch. Listen. And be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift. Nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection, and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Congratulations on completing your work week. We apologize if your situation wasn't presented to you in a completely honest fashion when you first started, but it was important that your intentions and actions be genuine. Here at Fazbear Entertainment, we value fun, family, and food. But more importantly, we value our commitment to atoning for past mistakes and tying up loose ends. Thank you for your participation. There is no need for you to return to work next week, as Fazbear Entertainment is no longer a corporate entity. Please accept this certificate of completion. Goodbye for now, and thank you for taking this journey with us.
Now there we have it, FNAF 6 in Minecraft 1 through 6. Now we didn't get all of the endings or jump scares in that gameplay, so that now we're going to show them off now. I hope you enjoy it.
It's only now that I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create. As if what he had already done wasn't enough. He found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. As if the suffering wasn't enough, the loss of innocence, the loss of everything to so many people. Small souls trapped in prisons of my making, now set to new purpose, and used in ways I never thought imaginable. He lured them all back to a familiar place, back with familiar tricks. He brought them all together. Are they still aware? I hope not. It keeps me awake at night. I could make myself sleep, but not yet. Not until I undo what he has done and heal this wound. A wound first inflicted on me, but then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this. He set some kind of trap. I don't know what it was, but he led them there again. He overpowered them again, and he robbed them of the only thing that they had again. I don't know how those tiny breaths of life came to inhabit those machines, but they will never find rest now, not like this. I have to call them all back, all of them, together in one place.
Congratulations! You went somewhere you weren't supposed to go, saw something you weren't supposed to see, and prevented a tidy resolution to a messy problem. Needless to say, you're fired. But before you go, take this certificate of insanity. We're giving it to you to ensure that no one believes you, and to ensure that we can promptly replace you without incident. There is a truck waiting for you outside. Take care. Congratulations! You've completed a full week on the job, and you've done it in such a lackluster way that no one is proud or disappointed. It's a fine line to walk, but you did it, completing your job with such an efficient level of laziness that we're surprised you're able to dress yourself in the morning. While such a minimalist work ethic is rare, it doesn't mean that we want you back. In fact, it means you should look for employment elsewhere. But before you go, take this certificate of mediocrity. You should be proud. You stood on 2 feet and convinced someone that you could do something, when in fact you couldn't. Now get out. Congratulations! By some miracle, you've completed a full week on the job. Here at Fazbear Entertainment, we encourage a healthy spirit of entrepreneurship, which sometimes means taking risks. But you took it a step further. You were reckless and borderline criminally negligent in almost every decision that you made. So much so that you've been deemed a liability hazard, even for us. We'll mail you your final paycheck, minus the costs of wiping the security footage clean and erasing all trace of your employment from our files. But don't feel like you're leaving empty-handed. Take this blacklist certificate. You'll be lucky to ever find employment in this town again. Now take care. You gave it your best shot. You went all in. You put all your eggs into one basket and did the unthinkable. You ran out of cash. While we encourage entrepreneurs to follow their dreams, we also recognize a lost cause when we see one. There are no do-overs, and we trust that you know your way out. But before you go, take this certificate of bankruptcy. Now do everyone a favor and get lost.
Always come back.
Did I catch catch you off guard.
One big happy family.
What a deceptive calling. I knew it was a lie the moment I heard it, obviously, but it is intriguing nonetheless.
You should have known I'd find you.
And with that, we have now wrapped up today's video. Everything I wanted to get done in it is now done. And a huge thanks to CuppaTeaExe, the guy who creates FNAF games in Minecraft. And he's the one who inspired me to do everything in this series and start it in the first place. And I've learned countless things from him, and everything I know is from him. His channel and his video on FNAF 6 will be linked in the description if you have to go check him out, and subscribe to him if you haven't already. And I've used countless things he's used in my project, so it would mean a lot to me if you were to go subscribe to him. And now with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.